Sir, would you choose hamburger A Wendy's hamburger made with fresh beef, or B, made with beef that's been frozen?
Hamburger B.
Why?
Looks like the chow we had in the Marines.
Was it good?
No, it was terrible, but what memories. Slogging chest deep through the muck, mosquitoes as big as choppers, smell of sulfur in the air, I loved it. Say, were you in the Corps?
No.
I didn't think so.
Most people prefer hamburgers made with fresh beef, like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Girls who roll out of bed looking great, no makeup, no nothing, really bug me. But luckily for me, Maybelline has new Sheer Essentials makeup. It looks clean, natural. With 9 beauty essentials, it's actually better for your skin than no makeup at all.
Smart women know that something sheer is more beautiful than nothing at all. New Sheer Essentials.
I love it when they think I'm not wearing any makeup. No one has to know I didn't get up looking this way.
Sheer Essentials. Smart. Beautiful. Maybelline.
KIII TV3, Corpus Christi.
What kind of man uses Skin Bracer aftershave? A man who knows the difference between footwork and road work, between a snow job and a job well done, between something that merely makes you smell good and something that makes your skin look and feel good. Skin Bracer cools, soothes, tightens pores. You feel it taking care of your skin.
Thanks. I needed that.
When just smelling good isn't good enough, Skin Bracer aftershave.
Bye, Maybelline.
Thanks again, boys, and keep the change. You hear all this nonsense about Kellogg's Frosted Flakes being just for kids. Well, I, for one, eat them, and I'm going to go right on eating them. Frosted Flakes just for kids? Come on. Like we adults have to go sneaking around. Like we can't love these crisp, sweet flakes just as much as kids. Who is it?
You just have to admit it. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Yesterday's copper top battery would need more than a wing and a prayer to keep up with today's Duracell battery. Because today's is so much better, it'll last up to 30% longer than the one we made just 3 years ago. Which means that yesterday's battery now falls a bit short. Today's Duracell lasts 30% longer.
Dad, next time, let's rent a forklift. Whoops.
What's that smell?
Smells like something died over here.
It's over here.
Wait, it's your shirt.
Clothes this dirty need Surf. Unlike detergents that just cover up odors, Surf actually removes both dirt and odors.
Looks clean, huh? Yeah. Smells okay, too.
Can somebody help me move this piano?
Surf removes both the dirt and the odors.
Monday, a deadly enemy. An unlikely ally.
Great shot.
An all-new MacGyver. Monday.
Once again, U.S. Sprint is doing something that AT&T can't. You see, AT&T still plans on using some microwave towers. We don't. Our quiet new digital fiber optic network makes our old microwave towers obsolete. Call now. For the best possible sound quality and the best overall savings, it can only come down to U.S. Sprint.
When you bite Dentine, that snappy flavor bites you back. And that tingle freshens your breath. Dentine, the gum that bites you back.
Sometimes even Pat Riley's stomach can lose its cool. That's when he reaches for Rolaids. Nothing works better for acid indigestion, so Pat's free to let his emotions really show.
Not bad.
Relief. You know how to spell it.
Tuesday.
Tony, I love you.
Sleep talk
Things all work out. I have dibs on your room.
leads to sweet talk. Who's the boss? Then a birthday bash.
Shampoo!
The perfect size for you.
Yeah, it's at least a 2-year supply.
Just the 10 of us after Who's the Boss? Remembering Maryland will continue in a moment.
Amazing.
Best so far.
For some, it's the end of the line.
That's not something you can talk about.
I'm
everyone out there. You girls have no idea what a privilege this is.
The chopper went down. I didn't even say goodbye.
China Beach.
It's no secret why Krepling Dodge Truck Center is #1 in customized van sales in Corpus Christi. You start with beautifully customized vans by High Caliber and Sherrod. Price them starting at $16,867 and throw in a $1,000 factory rebate to use as a down payment. And then add the best van selection in South Texas, and it's all at the Truck Center. Plus Ram Chargers, pickups, and 4x4s, all with rebates up to $1,000. The best truck deals are always with the good guys at Krepling Dodge Truck Center. It's never been better.
Charles Manson, Sane or Psycho, Monday on Geraldo.
There are things you can count on, things you don't outgrow. A taste of flame, a smiling face, something we all know. Good times, great taste of McDonald's.
Was she born with that hair color, or is that your doing?
In salons, the talk is about Miss Clairol. Miss Clairol, the colors hairdressers choose more often than any other hair color.
How to be a blonde like that? I'd do it in a minute. He's Claire 27.
Superb color, time after time. No wonder hairdressers trust the colors of Miss Clairol more often than any other. So for beautiful hair, gorgeous color, shouldn't you trust Miss Clairol?
It was 5:01 and a knock on the door brought me out of my afternoon snooze. First thing I noticed was a great pair of gams that began with some red leather shoes. Her shrink-to-fit jeans fit like none that I'd seen, and I knew I could never refuse anything that she asked, because the lady had class. She wasn't no regular flues. So I said, come on in, it's time we begin. You and I should be looking for clues. So that was the day that I picked up the case of the babe with the case of the blues. The case of that babe with the butt-fly shrink-to-fit Levi's 501 blues.
I won't wear anything without Cross Your Heart, because Cross Your Heart has crisscross shaping, so I always look better, whatever I wear.
Playtex Cross Your Heart Bra.
Don't wear anything without Cross Your Heart.
From Playtex.
The fit that makes the fashion.
Say, champ, what are you doing? You two know each other? What's up? That's where you want. So don't you sit right?
Aren't you glad you used the dial?
How you doing there, Romeo?
Don't you wish everybody did?
Would you two rather be alone?
If children hold the promise of tomorrow, then today we are a nation at risk. 1 in 5 American children lives in poverty. Drug abuse, delinquency, and teen pregnancy are everyday facts in many young lives. This year, nearly 1 million will drop out of school. 700,000 will graduate unable to read or write. Unemployment and poverty will continue to threaten those who lack literacy skills. We face a challenge not just to the poor and uneducated, but to all America. A threat that all of us, as parents, educators, and employers, can and must work to overcome. To explore these problems and what we can do about them, ABC and PBS are dedicating a year-long public service campaign to Youth Plus, because our children are the promise of the future.
A hunk. G'day. A hero.
After the smoke of passion cleared away, we had two strangers staring at each other.
And a heartthrob.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever plan for success.
On an all-new Barbara Walters special Wednesday.
The United States Grand Prix. It's as close as most of us ever get to a Formula One machine. Until now. The Acura Integra. It's Formula One technology, and it's street legal. The Integra. Precision crafted performance from Acura.
If you heard the word on 59 cold cereals by a leading consumer magazine, you'd fall through the floor.
Mine's high in calcium.
And salt.
Salt?
High in fiber. And sugar.
Sugar?
Lots of protein. And added fat.
Fat?
The magazine rated shredded wheat tops in nutrition for no added sugar or salt, low fat, plenty of fiber and protein. Shredded wheat. And nobody else.
Beth, what's wrong with you? Tonsillitis?
Appendicitis.
Yeah! Nobody's died of tonsillitis around here for a while.
Appendicitis.
Nothing to worry about. Scalpel?
What if the joint were in somebody else's hand, like your surgeon, your lawyer, or your local policeman? Would you still say marijuana is harmless?
Now, let's see if I can still make a straight line.
Next, a gripping tale of international intrigue and terrorism. The quintessential miniseries unfolds at the fast-paced clip of James Bond, worthy of Hitchcock in his prime. Jackie's Dead, you're next. The best miniseries you'll see all year.
Take her to the river. Kill her.
Richard Chamberlain, Jacqueline Smith.
You are not the Jason Bourne, I knew.
And who am I?
In Robert Ludlum's best-selling thriller, The Bourne Identity. Next.
This is Charles Gibson.
And Joan London.
Monday Good Morning America is live from Dublin, Ireland.
Join us in celebration of 1,000 years of history.
The Dublin Millennium, live Monday on Good Morning America.
Talofa Pago fools. What's up? Oh my goodness. It's good to see you all. I haven't seen y'all since Monday, I think. Monday. Oh man, what a beautiful day Monday was, though. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful day Monday was. Oh, we had a victory. Those of us who have been following the Gannon Stout case and the Letitia Stout trial for his murder. We had a big win. Not an unexpected one. It was very predictable. It went exactly how not only I thought it would go, but it went how I hoped it would go. So yeah. Now, oh, I see Dietz is in the chat. Shout out to Dietz because I know she's been talking about a case and a few other YouTubers have been talking about it. And I've been sitting in their chats because I really like those channels that have talked about it. Down the Rabbit Hole News has talked about it. Burden of Proof has talked about it. All great channels. I highly recommend them all. Burden of Proof is like the YouTube's dirtiest little secret. Nobody knows anything about Burden of Proof, and she's great. And yeah, this Henrietta, Oklahoma thing. I did a deep dive into it today, and I will be talking about that at some point. But first thing is first, people. First thing is first. Things have to be smoothed out. Things have to be things have to transition properly through the proper channels, so to speak. They just have to happen that way. I am a master of my own fate, but I am not a master of fate, because fate just is what it is. It is fate. That means that I have to do what I'm doing tonight, folks. It's in the cards, people, if you believe in that sort of shit. Okay? It's oh man. So Monday I did we me, a bunch of other great channels went over Letitia's verdict and her sentencing. Very, very heartfelt, but the strength involved in everyone who, if anyone has earned the right to just verbally destroy Letitia, they did so, but they did so in a very tactful and very classy way. They still spoke their minds, but as far as their jabs at her, but mostly things were just focused about how she affected them. And we all know that it fell on deaf ears. Looking at this woman sitting there as the judge is reading her sentence, she's totally cold. She's got no feelings behind anything that she's doing. Just a disgusting display of a human being. And then when the judge asks if she has anything to say, that this is her opportunity where you say, "I'm sorry, Your Honor. I realize I did what I did. I don't know what came over me." Even some lame excuse, stick to your Maria story, whatever. She didn't even bother. She was just like, "Well, didn't work, so fuck it." And that was just really it was really disrespectful to everyone. And what she chose to do was send out a special request to the judge on either which prison she's going to go to or which part of the prison she's being sent to, she's going to go to. If I had to guess, she's made a buddy in jail, and that buddy in jail is like, "Hey, see if the judge will let you go to," and then she'll be like, "All right." Like that's how it works. Incredible. But so as for the title, okay, canceled Karen. This is for those of you, I just always got to keep you guys caught up, because I'm not gonna lie, it entertains me just telling the story. And all of those times hearing myself say, "It's just a matter of time." It's just a matter of time before YouTube figures out that this person who's not supposed to be on YouTube is still on YouTube under some other name. And she's so egotistical, she doesn't even try to change the look of the channel. I mean, it's just a matter of time. And so there was this, once upon a time, there was a creator named Critical K. And Critical K got on a lot of people's bad sides because Critical K made a name for herself by being the person who blames victims, sympathizes with murderers, family annihilators, you name it. Anything that people are alleged rapists, anything that is going to ruffle feathers, as she likes to put it, she'll go out there and she'll do, and she'll tell lies, and she'll make up and spin narratives. And behind the scenes in her Facebook groups, she controls narratives, and she abuses everyone who's a member there. She'll boot people. What she used to do, this is my favorite thing that she used to do, is whenever there was a case, this is how she built subscribers. Whenever there was a case, and everyone was talking about it, she'd find the Facebook group that had the most followers talking about that case. She'll find the discussion group about that case that has the most followers. And then what she'll do is she'll pitch her channel to the admins and then say, sign me, add me as the admin, basically make me the person who runs the channel. And this way, you know, I'll bring more people from my YouTube channel over here to this group. And she'll basically, yeah, like, and she'll just insist on it. She'll pitch it and insist on it. And a lot of people will just cave in because they don't want to have conflict. She'll feed off. This is what a bully does. She would basically muscle people out of their Facebook groups. It's really interesting, like a mobster. You know what I mean? Like a mobster. This is what she would do. I've had people on this channel tell me about it, that they were an admin, and then D. Marie, thank you so much. Can't forget the chicken. Exactly. No, we'll get there. Yeah, we all know all the stuff about Critical K and her antics and you know, the rubber chicken and we went over that, which brings me to my next point. So this is something she can't escape from. This is what I find really, really interesting about Canceled Karen, is what she would do is she would she would always go the opposition, and then she would lie, she would defame people, innocent people. She got sued for $10 million and lost. Just recently, she lost by default because she refused to show up to court. And I don't know what the amount is she's going to have to pay, but the lawsuit that was filed against her was for $10 million. Now, the interesting thing about that too is she got sued for defamation. And it's funny watching her on her alt channel that she had, and her alt channel that she built after getting Critical K, because I forgot to mention the Critical K channel, after she got sued, or right before she got sued, she got booted off of YouTube. YouTube removed it, removed the channel, removed all its content, done and done. They severed their partnership with the Critical K. So she starts an alt channel. Doesn't take her too long. As soon as her channel was gone, I was like, she'll be back. She'll be back. Everyone thought it was a big deal. And I mean, it was a big deal, but I was also like, it's just a matter of time. She needs the attention real bad. So she'll be back. And it didn't take long. And then she came back under this other name. And then, the entire time, as I still reviewed her content, I kept saying, it's just a matter of time. YouTube knows. YouTube's going to find out. You know, once you have a channel removed, once they sever their partnership with you, they don't want to be partners with you no more. If they got to a point to where they're like, we don't want nothing to do with you, you need to get the fuck out of here. When you get sued for $10 million and that word gets back to YouTube, YouTube is probably going to be like, I don't want to be in a partnership with this person. It's the safest way to go. $10 million is nothing to shake a stick at. Even a huge conglomerate like Google is going to look at that and go, I don't want nothing to do with this woman. But, you know, under the radar, she starts another channel, right? But I find it interesting that the last stream that she did one stream where she was basically begging and saying, you must go to my Patreon and you must go to my Facebook and you could pay for the paywall there because I need support, guys. I need support. Just straight up e-begging like a motherfucker. Never seen like just such blatant e-begging. Just I need. And she wouldn't even attend her court telephonically. They gave her the option. She said she couldn't afford to go to Mississippi and face her lawsuit. And so Cherry, And it was because she couldn't afford it. Right. And she basically says, this is unfair because I can't afford a lawyer. Sorry, too bad. I mean, if you commit a crime, you don't get to, you know what I mean? And just because it's a civil suit, a lawyer is not provided to you. You should learn how to control your shit. You should you should learn how to control your mouth. So, eventually she does this one stream. I find it, I don't subscribe to coincidence, folks. I really don't. I don't subscribe to coincidence, and I believe that it had to have something to do with the shushing of the kids to physically prompt your children. That live stream, somebody lost their shit and Karen'd the Karen. I am willing to bet on it. I'm willing to bet on it. So, canceled Karen is canceled again. I mean, amazing. Now she does this thing though, where she decides she wants to make some money, right? So she contacts somebody. She contacts someone that is I guess, I don't know, somebody to Letitia, guardian ad litem or something, which I think was a child thing. I don't even really know. The truth is I just downloaded it to troll her because she put it behind a Patreon paywall and I still got it. And I'm going to review it. Because I have people everywhere. So yeah, she put it behind a Patreon paywall, and I thought, this is too important, people. Too important to not share with you all. You all deserve, you are the people that deserve to know. Okay, folks? So, yeah. Without any further ado, so this is our goodbye to canceled Karen. I get to review one more video that she is supposed to be charging money for. But you could see right here, thanks to fair use.
All right. Hi, Amy. First of all, let me give a brief introduction for my audience. This is Amy Lang. She's from North Carolina, and she is Letitia Stauch's power of attorney.
Before I get into that, I should let you know. Before I get into that, let me show you guys something else, because this tickled me. This tickled me. So here is the post in her group. Says Letitia Stauch trial discussion, exclusive, all caps, interview with Letitia's power of attorney. Okay. You will get to see a never, I don't know, whatever. And it says exclusive with Letitia Stauch's power of attorney. And then somebody said something, I can't remember what it was, but I redacted the name here. The critical case says, this is my copyrighted work. I've got a right to earn a living just as law and crime and anyone else does. Don't want to pay $5, but don't pay. And anyone showing it for free is violating copyright by doing so. It better not be on Reddit. Sorry, Karen, it's on The Glare.
She has been her power of attorney since December 2021. And Amy, I'm going to let you go into a little bit more detail about how that came about and how long you've known Letitia.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Where do I start?
Start from the beginning, girl.
So, I'm a true crime fanatic, and court TV is like my vice. So, back in January of 2020, the Gannon Stout case was all over the news, and Letitia was still a free woman. She was posting on social media, not like what's that, like, it was public, like her posts were public.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like watching her every move on social media because, well, just to back up a little bit.
Now I'm not gonna rag on this lady, at least not yet anyway. I haven't watched this yet, folks. This is, how I like to do reactions. So like I said, I did this to just basically to troll her. Because I read that comment and I got tickled. So I was like, yeah, let me just give her a nice a nice farewell from YouTube for the second time, because I'm fucking petty.
I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I graduated with a 4.0 GPA.
Mm-hmm.
My end goal is to be a private investigator.
Mm-hmm.
So situations like these, like, you can tell red flags right off rip. And the one thing I'll never forget was that she posted something on Facebook, on social media. I want to say it was a Lorison Ranch group or whatever. She kept using past tense when referring to Gannon, but he was still listed as a runaway. I told my husband, I was like, ain't no way. That's like it's like she didn't do it on purpose, I don't think, but it's like her subconscious way of admitting the truth. I have so many screenshots on my phone from her Facebook where she referred to Gannon in the past tense. I have her interview saved in my phone where she referred to him in the past tense on a few occasions, things like that. But like, I was watching her because in my mind, I thought to myself, her story did not add up. And I have kids, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They're 8 and 5. And my biggest thing was, the whole reason why I want to go to the criminal justice system is to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, predominantly children.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff came out about Gannon being a runaway, and then they announced that they believed it was a homicide case. I was like, yep, I knew I picked the right career path. So,
like I said, I'm not going to give this lady shit just yet, because I mean, she hasn't said anything like too stupid just yet. So, I mean, I'm cutting her a break. Now, why she would go to this idiot, canceled Karen, with whatever information she has, I don't know. That speaks to her credibility, that's for certain. But
I listened. I knew the day she did that interview with the news station. No, Ronan, go ask your dad. The day that she did that interview with the news station.
Bro, look at Karen, bro. You hear that, kid?
And just so the audience knows, she has a little girl that she wants to be a part of this.
I'm really sorry.
We're going to work around Ronan. We're going to do the best we can. Go.
Yeah, translation. Shush that fucking kid. Be a mother and shush. You need to physically prompt your child. You need to physically prompt your child. Shush that little goblin.
Go ahead. Continue when you're ready, Amy.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Look how annoyed she is.
I followed everything.
Karen totally
the news interview that she did with, what was it, Spencer Wilson, and she had Harley with her, and she walked away and had her mic on. And you could hear her coaching Harley what to say.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, something's not right here either. But like, only time can tell. I'm not here to point fingers until I have like all the evidence before me. Well, I can't go into detail about this, and I cannot say who gave this to me. But you remember when Letitia's arrest affidavit was leaked?
Yeah.
I had my hands on that first before anybody else.
The arrest affidavit. When refresh my memory.
So
when was that?
Leak it?
When was that? Was that March?
So wait. Let me try to understand this. So you remember that? You remember that arrest affidavit that was leaked? Well, I was the first one to have it. Does that mean that you leaked it?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Exactly, Ice. Exactly. Like either you leaked it or you didn't leak it or you didn't get it first.
I actually have it in my accordion envelope of Letitia's information, so just bear with me and I can tell.
Yeah, that was a whole ordeal the way that was leaked. That was, I believe, somebody from Web Sleuths, right? Requested it or something.
So, from what I was told, the paralegal part of doing whatever they had to do with it.
Yeah.
But that's not how I got it. I just can't go into detail as to how
you got it. Yeah. Okay.
As soon as it became a thing,
so you
I was
leaked
the
it.
first one to have it. Girl, I sat on my couch
So you leaked
for 2
Got
hours reading every single page, all 32 pages. You know, the pictures are black and white. I took pictures of
You suck.
Through like a negative filter screen to see if any blue star agent would pop up, and it did. My husband's like, I would not have ever guessed, I wouldn't have thought of doing that. And I way back when I knew how brutal that was before they showed those pictures during court. But
and just to clarify, you're in North Carolina.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, you're in North Carolina. Okay. So did you at some point reach out to Letitia?
Yes, I did. When she was arrested in March, I wrote her a letter in April of 2020. Initially, I used an alias. I went by the name Jane Radke. I wrote her a letter, and all I told her was, "Hi, my name is Jane. I live in Hope Mills, North Carolina. At the time I was working at the pharmacy as a licensed pharmacy tech." I might still have that letter I sent her. But basically what my letter to her came down to was, I'm not here to talk about why you're here. I'm not here to talk about, the facts behind your case. I just want to extend to you my friendship, because I know in situations like this.
Bro, see, people like this are the ones that really fucking get on my nerves, dude. Right there, that is a weird person. Okay? I just want to reach out to you because I want to be your friend. I don't have any desire to be Why? That makes no sense. I mean, I don't have any desire to want to be buddies with somebody who just fucking had a shitty sense of entitlement to the point to where she justifies herself murdering an 11-year-old boy because she was just unhappy with her fucking life. Fuck her.
People like you probably receive a lot of hate mail, and let me be one of the few to be completely open and honest with you. And I'm not here to give you any hate. I want to be somebody you can come to and talk to if you'll take me up on that offer. And she actually wrote back. Hold on, I literally had. I don't know if you can see.
Look at this girl. She's fangirling over Letitia Stalk. See, these are real people out here that exist, folks. You know what I mean? That's an actual person holding up letters right there, holding up the correspondence with somebody who accomplished absolutely nothing other than prove that she doesn't give a shit about anyone and decided to murder an 11-year-old boy. What kind of a person needs that sort of gratification to befriend someone like this? Because it's not like that movie. It's not like that movie, Dead Man Walking, right? Where Sean Penn's on death row. He did some really disgusting, horrible shit. And Susan Sarandon is assigned by the church to counsel him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, actually, I don't even know if she was assigned, but she's a woman of God. You know what I mean? She's somebody who's like, okay, well, the most Christian thing to do here is not let this person, no matter what they've done, die alone. But we're talking about somebody who's going to be in prison alongside everyone else, hanging out, chilling. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I just don't think that the judge I don't know if the judge has the power to do it, but I'm a little disappointed that Al's request wasn't fulfilled. I thought that was more than fair. 1 day of solitary for every mile that she drove to dispose of Gannon. I thought that was perfectly just. 1 day of solitary for every mile. I thought that was perfectly just. But the judge didn't do that. and I'm not mad at the judge for that. You know, I mean, I thought what the judge handed out was fair too. You know?
I have.
Those are all the letters from her?
Mm-hmm. And I'll probably be posting them on, I'm trying to find the first one
Of
ever.
course you will. Of course.
I'll probably be posting these on one of the true crime.
I wonder if Karen told this person, Amy, that this was that she's going to be making money off of this. And I wonder if she paid Amy anything. Wouldn't she be entitled to some of that?
The Gannon Stouts. Is this it? Is this the first one? I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. I gotta
No, you're fine. Go ahead. No, take your time. Pull it out.
Because I would love to read some of these to you.
Yeah. And people are going to want to hear them. I mean, obviously the reason that you and I are here doing this is to, first of all, give people a little bit more of an understanding of her as the perpetrator, the person who murdered this child and who has been.
No, you're capitalizing off of a name of someone who murdered an 11-year-old boy. That's all you're doing. I mean, that's fine. Just fucking admit it, though. Don't sit here and act like you're here for educational purposes, because if it was for educational purposes, you wouldn't put it behind a paywall. You wouldn't get so pissy about the idea of someone criticizing you for putting it behind a paywall. I have justice. That's right. As Law and Crime. Law and Crime puts their shit on YouTube for free. What are you talking about? Oh, shit. That's right. You can't go on YouTube. You can put it on your Facebook for free. I mean, unbelievable, dude.
So how did you like that?
Loved it. I want to ride that horse again sometime. Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Now convicted of it and found guilty, and to shed a little bit more light, and secondly, to help people to kind of understand this process too of how you've come to be her power attorney and what that means moving forward. So yeah, help us understand in any way that you can. So that first letter she sent back to you, what kind of stands out? What are some significant parts from it?
That's the letter I'm looking for. I'm sorry. I have so many of them.
Oh, I bet you do.
When I say that I got all the way involved, maybe it's this one. Hang on.
Was she getting a lot of hate mail?
Yes.
Of course she was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people telling her she needed to go kill herself and all this other stuff.
I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Do you want to
I don't approve of that, but I don't feel sorry for her.
That I noticed over time? Inevitably, it's going to come out when I share my letters, what my handwriting looks like versus what her handwriting looks like.
Mm-hmm.
She started imitating my handwriting.
She did?
100%. And I got it all on paper.
Wait, what? What?
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
Say you guys exchanged.
How is that? Wait a second. So she started imitating your handwriting, or maybe you just started writing the letters yourself and got sick of. You just got bored and fucking frustrated with trying to fake someone else's handwriting, and that's your excuse for having the same handwriting. That sounds pretty sus, bro. It sounds pretty sus.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
Oh, excuse my French, a gratuitous fuck ton.
I can imagine. Well, let me go here. How long into this contact, okay, that the two of you created, all right, this friendship, would you term it a friendship?
Okay, I think I found the first letter, by the way, so here we are. So let's put it this way. I offered her my friendship with my real intent was I wanted to hear her side of things versus what the media was putting out there.
Right.
So when I wrote her a letter and I offered her my friendship, you know, if more came out and she was honest with me or anything like that, like, oh, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm a hot mess today.
You're fine. Go ahead. Find what you need.
Okay, so I actually saved the first letter I ever wrote to Letitia. Do you want me to read that to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, the suspense is killing
Dear
me.
Letitia, my name is Jane Radke, and I am 29 years old. I currently live in a small town called Hope Mills. It is in North Carolina, not too far from Fayetteville. I am originally from the Midwest, though, Indiana to be exact. My husband is prior service, active duty Army, and we got stationed out in Fort Bragg. We decided to stay in this area after he was medically discharged because we love the atmosphere and the people out here. I'm a full-time college student at the moment, as well as a stay-at-home mom
worse than
with two
MGL,
beautiful
Kay.
little girls. They're 5 and 2 years old. I'm a big animal lover, and we have quite a variety of pets in our home.
Jesus Christ,
In my
Kay.
spare time, I love to travel. I'd have to say one of my favorite getaways is Myrtle Beach. It's only about a 2-hour drive from where I live. I occasionally travel north as well to see my best friend who lives in Nebraska. I haven't really traveled much since 2019 since my husband was discharged from the Army and went back over the road.
Hola, I'm just getting here. Here's my late feed.
I said, as I am sure you know, I am very familiar with the current situation you are dealing with, as it is all over the media. However, I am not here to judge you nor pry for information. I find myself feeling both empathy and sympathy for you in the situation you're going through. I can't imagine the loneliness you must feel being confined for 23 hours a day with little to no human interaction. I'm writing you this letter to extend my friendship to you. I know we are complete strangers to one another, but something deeply compelled me to reach out to you and offer you my friendship. I'd like to get to know you a little better, so I thought of a few questions for you. Where are you from? What kind of hobbies do you enjoy doing? What is your favorite food and snack? Do you like animals? If so, which are your favorite? What kind of music do you like? What is life like in jail? Are you allowed to have books, magazines, or newspapers? Do they allow you to have commissary items? I hope that you and I can become friends, as I know how depressing being alone can be. I've personally struggled with depression since 2011, and now with my husband being gone all the time for work, I get quite lonely myself. Feel free to write me whenever you'd like. Like I said previously, I stay home all day with my girls, so aside from my college classes, I got nothing but time on my hands. I hope that you are doing well and take care of yourself. Sincerely, Jane Radke. That's the first letter I wrote her.
And do you have the one she wrote back?
I sure do, right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Let us hear it.
She said, Jane, thank you for the letter. Of course, I know Hope Mills as I grew up in the area and I played a lot of ball in the region too. I lived in Myrtle for the past 17 years of my life. My family still lives in Lumberton. How's college? Done enough of that, LOL. 4 degrees later, including a doctorate, sitting in this place like hell.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I hope your girls are doing well and enjoying their summer. It's on the media your way because I grew up there, so a lot of people started sharing it originally before it became national news. Thanks for the empathy and sympathy. I did not murder or abuse my son, but I guess you will find that out later in trial. It does suck without human interaction, no exercise, no outside time like others, but instead being strapped down every step I take. I'm sorry your husband's gone a lot. I pray for your peace and his safety. My hobbies include softball, travel, religious, church and reading, food, anything healthy, yogurt, grapes, dragon fruit. I'm telling you right now, for the whole 2.5 years I talked to her, dragon fruit is her obsession.
Interesting.
Animals.
Random.
It's very random, but she loves her some dragon fruit. Animals. Yes, I have a French bulldog and an English bulldog. Music. K-Love and country. What's the channel out there? 92.9, 95.7? She put a smiley face. She said jail is hell on earth. A letter from her that day, and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of eerie. And then, like, not even 20 minutes coming in, sitting on my couch, I get a call from Colorado, was El Paso County Jail. So I put money on my books, and we talked for. She was in solitary confinement, so we talked for an hour, and then she told me, she was like, hey, El Paso has the system set up where you can do video visits with inmates, and it's free, because, like, you get charged for the phone calls. You get charged out, girl.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. How much is it?
It depends on how many hours or how many minutes you want to put on your thing. I think I calculated it up over the course of my friendship with Latifah.
Now, I did skim through this a little bit. I don't know what happens. I don't know what's said, but there is footage of Letitia talking with this, video chatting with this person. So if you're wondering if she's lying, she's not. She's just a fucking morbid motherfucker.
Letitia, I spent about $600 loading my phone call account. This is not including when I had a better job. I would give money for her commissary. So, like, I would always try to do something here and there. $75 here and there, $200 here and there. It was Mother's Day coming up. So me and my kids sent her some money on Access Corrections. And she's like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, no, just celebrate the day and enjoy yourself. Like, or it was Easter. Yeah. But no, she's like, we could do video visits if you just give me your email address. You know, and at first I kind of like started to sweat bullets because I never foresaw it going like this. I was like, you know what? Excuse my French. Fuck it. Here's my email address.
Right.
Give her my email.
Like, she's just fangirling. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, what's the purpose? Like, think about that for a second. What's the purpose of fangirling some idiot, some piece of shit like Letitia Stout? What's the purpose of doing that other than going and bragging about it to this idiot who is exploiting it for money? I mean, it's very, very strange.
Email address, and then her and I did video visits.
And
it used to be back in the day.
The funniest thing is Canceled Karen approves of this as long as she makes a buck. She approves of this because she looks at it like, oh my God, I would do the same thing. I mean, this is the one person who I've heard speak positively about Dr. Dorothy Lewis that wasn't in that fucking documentary.
The inmate had to set them up. So I'd get an email saying, like, Letitia Stout wants to talk to you. You got 15 minutes to make your meeting. So I'd stop whatever I was doing. I'd come hide upstairs and I would talk to her. And then they changed it to where people like you and I would have to set up the video visits.
Mm-hmm.
Once I learned what her schedule was, which was she was out some days during the evening and out some days during night. So her and I always set up our video visits at night because that worked better for her schedule.
Right.
Yeah, no, we've talked on the phone. Like
I mean, I realize she has like a nasally voice. I get that. But I think that has, and this is not like a dig at her, you know. I mean, like you look at her, you could tell that her face is structured a certain way, and the way her nose is structured, it makes sense that her voice sounds nasally. I mean,
said I have probably spent $600-700 keeping that loaded, and I've sent her commissary stuff.
But the video visits are free.
Yes, they are. I can send you the information for it, but like I'm telling you right now, do you know of her private private investigator in the case?
No, I don't. No.
She has a private investigator that worked with Josh Cellini and Will Cook named Caitlin Craig. So Caitlin Craig and I became very close, and Caitlin Craig came out here and interviewed me. I forget where I was going with this.
that's because you were just bragging.
Yeah, where were we going?
Because you're just a fucking weird
how it
asshole.
came to the point where you had power of attorney, where you obtained power of attorney.
Yes, that is correct. Because Letitia wanted to sign over her full power of attorney to me.
So too bad she doesn't have any fucking money.
Involved with her private investigator. You know, her private investigator asks her, "Are you sure this is what you want?" And Letitia said, "I literally do not trust anybody else like I trust Amy," which I couldn't say anything about that to her family, at all.
Think about that. What does that say about that person? See, she finds that to be flattering, but those of us with common sense see that as a red flag. Okay? This is a person who I'm already convinced knows that Letitia's guilty, just doesn't give a fuck. She's just fangirling because she's somebody that people are talking about in the news, and she seems elusive, and now she's buddies with her, which is really fucking morbid and creepy and weird. But this is somebody who clearly, I mean, to me, that's a red flag. If somebody who I just fucking wrote a letter to because they're in jail and they say I'm the only person in the world that they trust and they hand me power of attorney, I'm going to go, that says a lot to me that you fucking burned every bridge. Nobody fucking likes you. It's not just because of the Gannon thing, because even Chris Watts had his parents in his corner. Chris Watts murdered their grandchildren. And even he had people in his corner. This is a woman who is so despised that the person that she finds to be the most trustworthy is this stranger who wrote her letters, fangirling her. That's fuck. I mean, what is that? That speaks volumes of her narcissism. It speaks volumes of her of the fact that nobody fucking trusts her or likes her, which makes her seem even that much more guilty. Not to mention all of the fucking evidence that she had access to in summary before anyone else, but didn't leak it. Okay.
And she gave me full power of attorney too, over everything. So
she's so proud of that.
Such as what? Give me itemize for me what you have control over.
Let's see. My glasses on. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Fine, go ahead.
My attorney, in fact, no. My attorney shall have all powers, discretions, elections, and authorities granted by statute, common law, and under any rule of court. In addition thereto, not in limitation thereof, my attorney, in fact, shall also have the powers to set forth below. My attorney, in fact, may collect and receive, with or without the institution of suit or other legal processes, all debts, monies, gifts, objects, interests, dividends, immunities, and demands that now are due or may after become due, owing or otherwise payable or belonging to me.
This lady's an asshole. This lady's an asshole. Like, you see the character in her, right? Like, you can tell that there's this major lack of character here in her, and you could see why Letitia was drawn to her. And it's like a weird vibe that these people sense with each other, kind of like that I would imagine Canceled Karen had with JS for Justice, something like that, because the two of them hate each other now, but the both of them are fucked up people who did fucked up shit to each other, and now they hate each other. And it's like, well, they're both equally shitty. You know what I mean? Like, they're both completely equally shitty, and yet they hate each other. Why is that? It's because their shittiness drew each other together at one point. I think that's what's happening with Amy and Letitia. And Letitia here trusts her more than anything. And here she is reading off reading off the power of attorney document.
Use and take all lawful actions in my name. Or
she's literally bragging about the power of attorney on Canceled Karen's fucking little Facebook thing. Like, she'll talk to anybody who'll listen.
Or otherwise to recover the same and no compromise the same. Or sorry, and to compromise the same. My attorney, in fact, may sell, convey, lease, exchange, mortgage, pledge, release, hypothecate, or otherwise deal with, dispose of, exchange, or encumber any of my
She
property,
can't even read it,
either real or personal. This shall include the power to borrow money or otherwise obtain credit upon such terms, conditions, and covenants as my attorney in fact considers to be appropriate. My attorney in fact may appear on my behalf in any litigation in which I was like, well, with me being your power of attorney, borderline, what is it? Not borderline personality disorder, but like type 2 bipolar. I don't know what it is. So like, I understand what it's like to like have mental issues, but this is where it gets really interesting. The stays between you and I might have to block some of this out.
It stays between you and I.
You said she started to,
like, you know what she's doing, right?
Yes, she did. If you go look at there's a motion. I'll have to start writing left. Yes, she did.
That's sweet. We'll see it when we're done.
Oh my god.
Okay.
No.
And please don't even sing.
I will.
It does look like.
Yeah, I didn't want to dox the kid.
I'm
glad that it didn't show the
medical
kid.
Stuff too.
That's
in here too. But okay, so what ended up coming of this? This started because the WellPath people were pissing me off. They weren't getting her the medical help that she needed behind hers. Because like, I don't believe that she has DID. I never have. But I suffer from mania. I suffer from. They think I'm borderline. What is it?
Get out of town.
Not borderline personality disorder, but like type 2 bipolar. I don't know what it is. So like, I understand what it's like to like have mental issues, but this is where it gets really interesting. The stays between you and I might have to block some of this out.
It stays between you and I.
You said she started to copy.
What do you mean it stays between you and I when you know you're being broadcast on the internet, right? Regardless of the fact that it's behind a paywall, like it's not between you and Kay. It's between you, Kay, and every single person that's watching her. And now all of us. So congratulations, smartass.
Your handwriting.
Yes, she did. If you go look at there's a motion. I'll have to go online to one of the motions, and I'll screenshot it where she signed her name, Tisha Stout. Literally everyone who saw it looked at me and said, "Is that your handwriting?" I'm like, "How could it have been?" But
so
like,
you've been showing a bunch of people this shit.
When we first started talking, is that I'm left-handed. She's like, "I'm ambidextrous." So when I told her I was left-handed, she started writing left-handed, and like, I might have some of her. I can show you my handwriting, and then I'll show you like her.
Yeah, show me your handwriting, and then this is so strange.
It's stupid. This is so.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Fucking.
That's my handwriting.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
I just seen power of attorney. This is Letitia Stout's Colorado Para Teacher Retirement Fund. When she was in jail, she found out she had $2,400 in that retirement fund, but she had no way of getting to it. I was like, well, with me being your power of attorney, I can get it for you.
Right.
So I had to call down there, show them proof of my power of attorney. They got it validated. They asked me how I wanted to do it. So I said, just send me a check. They sent me a check. It was like $2,400 is what she got back from it. I asked her if she wanted me to mail it to Harley. She said yes. And then Harley never got the check. So then I had to call Colorado Para again, tell them the check got lost in the mail. They sent me another.
Well, I don't know what happened, but maybe Harley was just like, fuck this. I don't want this.
One. And then I was on the phone with Tisha. I was like, would you be okay with letting me into your USAA bank account? Because you could do the mobile deposit of the check. What? Go talk to your dad.
And you're a piece of shit.
Into our USAA account. I was like, cool. So they gave me their login and stuff, and then I did one of those.
Smoked it.
You take a picture of the check or whatever, the mobile.
Right.
And I went through, and then I told Tisha and I told Harley both, it's been done. It's going to take about a week for it to show up, and if for some reason after a week you don't see that $2,400 hit your bank account, call me and I'll get it handled. And like, this is kind of what broke my heart. Okay. When Letitia knew that she was getting this $2,400, her plan was to kind of stock up some stuff on her commissary and get her some, like undershirts and things like that, hide stuff, right? And she said that she was going to give Harley about $500 of it. She offered to give me money for all the help, but I was like, dude, I really do appreciate the offer, but like, that is not why I'm here to help you. Like, make sure you and Harley are taken care of. Well, when she got the money, she gave every single penny of that $2,400 to Harley, except for maybe $400 of it. And then Harley cut her out of her life.
After she got the money. Yeah, I found some inconsistencies in Harley's testimony.
Way to go, Harley. All right, Harley.
Big time. And we're going to go into that. We'll go into that. But that's interesting to know. That's really sad. That's really sad. So
one more round of applause for Harley.
You are becoming concerned about these untreated symptoms. Tell me a little bit about some of those untreated symptoms and what you were seeing that was becoming so alarming that you felt the need to reach out to WellPath.
So the fact that she has stomach issues, I know that she does. Even her family, who I'm close with, have told me she has.
She was all like, and then Harley cut her out of her life. And then Harley cut her out of her life. Bro. This lady sucks.
Has stomach issues, okay? And I forget what she was on, but they would not give it to her at the hospital. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of an issue. She was asking them for like antidepressants or things like that. And like, they would come in, check up on her and be like, well, you look okay. We'll come check on you later. And they would never go back and see her. I called the El Paso County Jail so many freaking times. Like, listen to this. I hate this so much. It's innocent until proven guilty. Okay. I think that we all know that she did what she did, but we can't say that. We can't go on that until the verdict has been handed down, okay?
Well, I mean, like, again,
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I don't know why they never get it, Ice-T, my friend, I don't know why they never understand.
When she would get, rec time, we would do our video visits, right? I would set up my video visit for her time frame. And how it works is like, there's computers like in the ward, so like you can see people's cells and stuff. I knew exactly where her cell was. And for like 2 weeks straight, she didn't come out to the video visit, which was so unlike her. because when her private investigator came here and interviewed me, her private investigator told me that my name red flagged on the system because everybody, the judicial system, is like, who the hell is Amy Lang? So I kind of had to explain everything to.
Maybe it's because you're like, maybe you have all of these mental health disorders, and I mean, I don't know if that's a red flag or something that they look into as far as screening people who are going to visit her or talk to her. I mean, I don't know, but oh shit. All right, let me just get to that. Fuck it. I'll let her set that up.
The moment she walked in there, like, as a parent, I can sympathize the anger and frustration people felt, but like that is not a justification for it. So many people there should have been fired.
When you did the video visits, was she in her cell?
No, they let her out of her cell. She got to come down and sit at the computer with me.
So you never got to see inside her cell?
I could never see inside her cell, but like I could see from where I was sitting, it was like up to the left.
Do you remember anything remarkable about it? About what was her cell like? Do you know?
So, well, she did get put in general population.
Mom, can you do me a favor?
I'm so sorry. What?
While you're praying for a minute, please. I'm going to
shush the kid.
Okay, well, I have stuff I have to do. This is very important to me. So
put your hand over the goblin's mouth and shush the kid.
At the door.
I can't shut the door.
I might have screenshots. Like,
oh,
yeah, you can.
That would be interesting.
Okay, bear with me because I'm pretty sure I have them on my Google Drive. So if my face disappears, you can still hear me, right?
Yep, I can still hear you. Yeah.
And I tried to pull it from my laptop, and it didn't work the way I thought it was going to. Okay, my drive, Letitia Stout. I have an entire drive of like all of our video visits.
Were these video visits recorded?
Yes.
What? You recorded them?
I did.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. Here's the rule. In the state of North Carolina and in the state of Colorado, it's a one party consent to record a conversation between two or more people. So that means I give myself permission to record.
Well, yeah. Wow.
Some of y'all's comments are like not that funny, but for some reason they are because I'm a fucking child. And I've been hitting this here pen. So
I feel like a slice of butter melting on top of a big old pile of flapjacks.
Yeah.
So if you're able to pull it up, can we see a clip or see a screenshot? Or
I'm trying to see if I can find a good one where you could see her cell. And I'm gonna just give you a heads up. I look like hot garbage.
Right. If anything looks like hot garbage, it's me. The boys and I
got that straight.
We had dentist appointments today, and my hygienist has been brutal on me. I mean, she used some like drill tool, and so my mouth is killing me. And I probably look a little swollen because she was just digging around in there with some drill thing. Like she just went to town on my gums.
Did she now?
Are you still there?
Oh my god, I thought I lost you.
I know, I was worried too. Did you find something?
I found a video. I had to hold on. I have to sit down and kind of like listen to see which one said what. But the one that I found that like was firmly burnt into my memory, I'm about to see if I can put it in the chat. How can
is there like a link to it, or is it a file?
It's a link. I just put it in.
Oh, this lady is like, she's like,
holy shit. All right, hang on. Let's get this going.
Dude.
Oh, wow.
Can you see it?
Yes.
She's like the voices behind
all right,
my
there we go.
balls.
All right, let's get it going.
Let's do it.
Look at how excited she is about fucking like, it's so funny because she's defending Letitia, you know? She's defending her. She's talking about how Harley betrayed her and stopped talking to her, wanted nothing to do with her. And yet she's totally betraying her trust at the same time. This is hilarious.
Oh, it's 17 minutes. All right, this is gonna be good.
Oh, they're kicking my ass today.
Fuck you.
And like, just as a hands up, this was by far one of the most bizarre video visits she and I did together.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hopefully I look okay.
So that estimated cost, she has to pay that?
Nope, I do.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't live here. My face is
no
all broken
idea.
at hives today for some reason. And I can't figure out what caused them.
I had no idea that they even do this.
Mm-hmm. My arms broke out hives too, actually. Like I said, I want to be a private investigator, so I scoured the ends of the internet until I found this kind of stuff.
Good for you. All right, how long into this does it actually start?
Let me see if I can blow it up.
Can you see it on the screen? Because I've got it on the screen.
Bro, what is going on
Go
with
ahead
her
and
eyes, bro?
fast forward a little bit. You keep going.
What is happening to her face?
Keep going.
I mean, I'm just saying because she looks hurt.
There we go.
Like somebody.
All right, just hang tight here. It'll pop up.
Okay.
Like somebody done went and whooped her ass. I hope she fucking did something about that. Contacted the proper authorities.
Who may watch this afterwards, please don't judge my two black eyes, my broken nose. I had a seizure last week.
Oh, she had a seizure. Okay, see, that makes sense.
Hey.
Now, I'm no longer concerned for her safety.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I like your braids.
Yeah, I just had to do them again because they made me just put them in this little one.
Yeah.
But I can't take them apart because the ninjas came in my room and they were just like, I had to do like all these karate moves with them and stuff because they were like telling me about snitching. So they're like, snitches, what happens to them? They have to pull down their britches. And then when they pull down their britches, yeah, they were like, they become bitches. And then when they become bitches, they get stitches. And then after they get stitches, they end up in ditches. And then they were like telling me, like, we told you this before. You have to go Google it. What happens to people who end up in ditches? So I just am like, okay, I'm not going to be a snitch. Just leave me alone. And so I had to get rid of the ninjas. So they let me braid like this. And then that was that.
Was this yesterday with everything that happened?
Yesterday, last night. And then they came today and was like trying to put.
Stop it. Get some help.
These like leg braces on my legs. And they were the transport people. And I was just like asking them why. Was it because the ninjas had sent them or not? And they were just like, no, we're getting it ready for your trial because the jury will be behind you. They're no longer going to be in the jury box due to COVID. So we don't want them to see you tethered to the
So this
desk.
is during.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so this seems like it's during COVID. Like the trial got delayed and delayed after this.
I'm sitting there like, but I'm not having a jury trial. And then they were just like, I was like, what are you talking about? Do you know what month it is? And I was just like, I'm so confused. Did the ninjas send you? Because it was just weird. The ninjas had to send them to do that. Like, why else would they do that? Like, why would the jury people be sitting in the audience? I said, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, the COVID thing makes sense because that has changed. Like,
I mean, I don't want to read too much into that, but I mean, her behavior kind of merits it. The fact that she referred to the gallery as the audience, you know, kind of shows her narcissism and how she looked at having a trial as being a show, which I believe is really the reason why she wanted to represent herself in the first place.
the layout of some court settings, but that's not, I mean, that's not for a while out. 1, 2, you said you're not having a jury trial?
No, I don't need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But oh gosh, no, yesterday, okay.
Yes, fill me in more on that.
Yesterday they made me leave because the ninjas, they were downstairs. And so I told them, I was like, I need to like finish out this phone call. We'll make this phone call prior. They just kept going and going and going. So I just finally just went in my room and just shut the door. And was like, they wouldn't stop at all bothering me, you know. And so I did that for a little bit. And then I have to tell you, I hate this dude. So he never even, okay, do you know him? Do you know who I'm talking about? His name is Albert. I used to be married to him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hate him. He is like, there was like saying something about, oh, I'm supposed to check these guns in the safe or something. We don't even have a gun safe. We've never.
Now, people, just so you know, I was warned that in this video, Letitia has uncontrollable gas. Okay, so don't get mad at me.
Never had a gun safe. You know how much I hate him. He's so irresponsible. He would keep his gun by the bed in a zip thing and then pretend like, oh, no one knows where it's at. It was zipped in a zipper.
Jesus.
Everything else was like where it should be. Even mine was locked in a jury case.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hate that dude. He is so full of shit. It's not even funny. He left it with no safety beside his bed at all times, wide open for anybody and their mama to know where it's at, and then try to pretend, no one knows where it's at. It's beside the bed. You know what I'm saying?
Is it big?
Sin vergüenza. She has no shame at all.
Or small? Like, could he like hit it under the mattress?
Oh
or is
my
it like...
God.
No, just like sitting on like, you know how you have like night tables?
Yeah.
And then you put like so you put like clothes on the night tables. Just sitting on the clothes on the night table on that side of the bed.
Yeah, no.
I think it's her and Kay that are having like a fart throwing contest. It's like an unspoken thing. Kay was probably writing her letters like, wait, just wait.
I just like, started freaking out because I told the ninjas, I wish I could send y'all there to where he's at because he does not know how to take his weapon and keep it safe from anyone.
Yeah.
He's the one who doesn't do that. And I, kept miscounting them because there was so many. I couldn't keep up with how many was there, I'm like, this is just such a liar. Like, I just want to be able to, send the ninjas to where he's at to, kick his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because he's lying.
Oh, my God.
So,
disgusting. Everyone in jail hates
what is
you.
she talking about ninjas?
I don't know. It popped up randomly one day. We were talking on the phone. She said, there's ninjas in my cell. There's ninjas in my cell. And this is back when she was kind of into the whole Janelle the vampire thing. I have letters about that too, by the way.
You have letters about the whole vampire thing too?
Oh, I sure do.
Yes or no?
All right, here. Let's keep going.
Like she's
What were
so
they telling
proud.
you? You have to look up.
Like, how lame are you if this is your claim to fame? You know what I mean? Like, how fucking pathetic does a person have to be to, like, dude, that there's a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could think of 100 productive things to do just to improve the chances of that child's growth and nourishment than be fucking wasting my fucking time. Spending any of my time could be spent better. My point being, any of my time could be spent better than writing this asshole letters. And I mean, what good is that shit? She's already convicted. She's in prison. People are gonna hate her. You know, I mean, what did you expect to accomplish by having the correspondence that you're having with this idiot and enabling her shitty behavior?
Are you looking to what about the guns in the safe? Like,
no, I was looking at something where he was, that dude, Albert, was trying to say, he told me to go check the guns. No. Someone said go check the gun safe or something. I was like, we don't even have a gun safe.
See, this fucking asshole, Amy, she never once will ask, and I guarantee you, she will never ask her, why would you do that to Gannon? Why would you do it? Come on, we're friends now. But what she's doing by doing that is she's risking her cutting her off and saying, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So she just feels like this is stalker shit. This is, I'll say whatever it takes just so I could be in contact with you. Whatever it takes. Just so I can say and tell myself that I'm in contact with you. And I could brag about it on some nothing channel that's been fucking deleted twice because of their nefarious shit that they do.
oh, yeah.
I can't get past the way she refers to him, that dude, Albert.
Because she was at this point in time.
God damn it,
she
Kay.
was trying to play it off that she was like mentally unwell. Like, do you know this guy that I used to like be with, like named Albert? Like,
so you think she was feigning? Do you think she was faking, or do you think she's really?
I'm telling you because of how well I've gotten to know her over the past couple of years. In this moment, she was faking because she had just got put out in general population.
Mom, do you mean that's
okay? All right, let's keep going.
Like, when you talk, like, this is, who said this? Like, why? And I told the ninjas, you need to go talk to them because there's no one ever had a gun scene.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was irresponsible owner.
Well, he probably knows he was irresponsible and he knows how bad it's going to make him look. So he's trying to make himself sound better by saying, oh, yeah, we had a gun safe.
And you see how she's like enabling her, like instead of just being like, what the fuck ninjas are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, this fucking phone call's costing me money. What ninjas are you talking about? Like, she had a golden opportunity here to call her out on her shit, right? But didn't. She just chose to enable her.
Oh, that is crazy as heck, man. You know, and I would always say something to him about that because I'd be like, wow, it's just like just sitting over there, you know. I kept mine in the jury box locked. It was a locked jury cabinet, you know. And I don't know, because like my uncle always did that. Like, he had all these big time ARs and stuff, and he had these big, he would lock them and stuff, you know, and like he would have his fingerprint where you could always, you know, go in, him and my aunts if she could get in. So I was just like raised to keep them, you know, protected like that. But
yeah,
he's lying.
Well,
so I told the ninjas to go with that.
You told what?
We'll see if they go. I told the ninjas to go where he was at. Yeah.
To go.
And they sent me his bank statement, right? And so I just threw it in the trash. I didn't even want to read it because he has this guy that keeps sending me messages, like letters and stuff, like some lawyer. I don't know why those people keep bothering me. Like I don't want to talk to them. I'm not allowed to talk to them because my group told me that I cannot like have anything to do with him because his name's Travis, law firm. And like I used to date that crazy guy Travis, and that was his name. So like I can't. This dude won't stop harassing me. You know.
I don't know if you told me about him. Who's Travis?
Like, Travis, I used to date Travis before I got married, and he was a very good guy. We played softball together and traveled and stuff, but he ended up having a drug problem, and like I don't do people with drugs.
Yeah.
So once I found out, I just was like, whatever. And he would stalk me, kick my house door in, I had to move. My friend Amy Bolton, we had to hide at her house as he was in her house hunting us. So we were hiding in her house.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, like it was crazy. Oh, I didn't tell you. So when I was talking to Justice, right?
See, she'll talk to anybody. She'll fucking talk to anybody that'll listen to her.
You got right.
No.
So on January 25th, 2019, my baby died, right? January 25th, 2019, before they brought me here to this concentration camp.
Mm-hmm.
My baby died.
They brought me here to this before they brought me here to this concentration camp. She
was like the fifth baby that died because like they always just be like, oh, you know, the heartbeat stopped. So I just got back from a cruise.
That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. Al said that all was bullshit.
And they were like, no heartbeat again, that's the fifth time to have a miscarriage. And so I had to have the miscarriage in the bathroom by myself. But you know what I was thinking, like, if you could take somebody's heart that didn't need their heart, could you make it work and make the baby work, and all the babies could like live, you know? But so I was talking to them about that. If I could have done that, that might have like made my baby live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Was this baby between you and Al, or? Yeah.
Yeah. I lost one when we got back from the Dominican before I started teaching 5th grade, and then that was like the 3rd or 4th. I don't remember. I had to have an abortion with one, but it was like the medical abortions where you already.
So I want to be very clear about this what we're looking at right here, and that's why I'm just going to let it play. I mean, we'll discuss it and we'll comment on it, but you got to understand that this footage of Letitia is pretty exclusive. And I know that there's good channels out there that want to try to understand her better and probably don't, because between me and you, I really don't give a shit. But I'm playing it just so it's out there because Canceled Karen put it behind a paywall, and I just wanted to, say hello. So, I just want it to be out there.
Like have the baby, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, then one time I wasn't far enough along, so they gave me these pills to take, and like Albert found the TRICARE record and started accusing me of having an abortion. But you don't go to the doctor and they give you these pills. They give them to you once the heartbeat stops, and you go home and you take the pills. And like I had to be admitted to the hospital because I bled so much taking those pills. So I never wanted to do that one again. I just said I'd wait and do it naturally. So when I lost the next one on January 25th, I had to have it, like, I had to, like, naturally lose the next one because I don't want to do another DNC or another, pill for it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. But, so let me tell you the excuse why Ty hasn't been.
Do you believe her that she had multiple miscarriages?
Absolutely fucking not, because when she was dating that Travis Shelley guy, one of the plays that when shit would hit the fan and they would break or be on the verge of breaking up, her first go-to thing would say, "Well, I'm pregnant," and come up with fake ultrasounds.
Well, and listen, I've speculated. Well, I've said in recent days that Letitia strikes me as mentally and emotionally about 15. Do you agree with that?
I know 100%. I think I read your post on that, and I was like, you know what? That I don't think that she's fully emotionally developed past 16.
No, she's a
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You can be emotionally stunted and yet still be functional. You can still get college degree.
And how is that? Yeah, and you can still understand when you murder an 11-year-old boy, and you can still understand when you're trying to cover it up because it's wrong. So
but like Dr. Dorothy rightly pointed out,
and guess what? 16-year-olds, when they do shit like that, normally they end up with life in prison as well. They just might get the possibility of parole, but
her doctorate is from Coursera. It's like this online thing, which I'm not downing at all. Like, I've considered doing it myself, right?
Yeah.
I can't do this forever. I can't. It's very draining.
Girl,
But
tell me about it.
please don't stop it, like right now. I can't do this forever. It's very draining. No, you're not doing it because you're being canceled. Your shit is getting booted the fuck off of YouTube. Your shit has been booted the fuck off of YouTube twice. And now Patreon's all you got. You have no way to promote it. No effective way anyway. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Except me. You're welcome.
Hey, you know what? Let's be PIs together. You tell me when you're ready, and I'll do something too. My mom told me the other day, she's like, you just need to stop what you're doing and be a PI, because that's where you shine, is figuring things out and plucking information out.
Girl,
I'm like, you know what?
so glad.
Thank you, Roxanne. I don't want to say your last name for the Cash App. I appreciate it.
That I have your number now, because I'm dead serious. Like, you
Let's
and
do
I
it.
make one hell of a team.
I think so too.
Wow.
Shirley, let's go. All right.
Okay, so the next venture of Canceled Karen is to be a PI.
You need to shut the fuck up.
So we're gonna get into Travis, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna kind of back up into that in a minute, but I think she's mentally and emotionally 15, and that's what some 15-year-old girls do. They fake pregnancies to keep guys with them. It's a very immature. There's so much about her, and I'm seeing it. Like, this is wild that I'm because I'm seeing this. Even her, I realize that you're saying now, well, a lot of this is feigned and faked, but not all of it. I mean, you can see her body language, and I hate judging body language, but the way she says things and the way she acts is just extraordinarily immature. It's very, very stunted.
It is, but like, does it, in the same token, does that fall into like the fact that she's very narcissistic?
Oh, I think it's a whole mixed bag, if you will. You know, it's this whole mixed bag. And the mental and emotional stunting, or the mental and emotional immaturity, definitely can be related to severe childhood abuse. But oftentimes what happens is they just stop emotionally developing, like people who don't necessarily go through that abuse.
Okay, hold on. You guys got to see this. Letitia reminds me so much of this lady. You guys will not be familiar with this unless you grew up watching Night Flight. But
Can I help you with some bread tonight? Butter, margarine?
French bread.
it's Letitia right there as a lunch lady.
Tater, tomato. Incubator. Decorator. Digitator. Doris. Frustrator. Aggravator. Honey, what's wrong? Manipulator. Doris. Intimidator. Step out of me. Decapitator. Doris. Flatulator. Mr. Bowen. Traitor. What's the problem out here? Dictator.
Go through phases of their life where they have emotional development and maturity that just progresses as it should, right? Like I'm 50 years old. I'm not the same mentally and emotionally as I was when I was 30. And at 30, I wasn't the same as I was at 20. So we all change.
Yeah, like who were you at 30? Like would the 30-year-old K like completely fucking ignore a lawsuit? Like would the 30-year-old K respond to a $10 million lawsuit with leave me alone, stop harassing me? I wonder if a 30-year-old K would have done that. That's very funny to me.
And we grow. And she's how old? How
She's
old is
30, 39. She's 8 years older than me.
She's almost 40 years old. And this was what, a year ago? This call? So closing in on 40 and, you know, has the demeanor of a teenager. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
They say because it's spring break, but you should know this like I do. Most Florida schools do not do spring break, or they do like 2 or 3 days because they get out early May.
Yeah.
So they don't do spring breaks. And his school district does not do spring breaks. So that's a lie. But because they get out early May because of tourist towns, you know. And so I'm just like, you tell him that he's full of shit, that is not why he's not in school. Like I've already heard what's going on, you know. I was trying to get an update, but I haven't got an update yet about what. I just know he's gone to find Mario.
Do you think he's in?
I don't know, and I don't know who told. I don't know. I just know he's gone to find Mario.
Yeah. You know? Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you. So
it's crazy.
I haven't heard.
Fighting with Taylor. Are you still fighting with Taylor?
Oh, I mean, we're always fighting. Yeah, we're better now, but he's been really busy with his work stuff.
I can't hear you.
Oh, hold on. Oh,
I can't hear you.
It's saying you've got. Is this any better? I'm moving closer.
Hear you.
How about now? Is that any better? How about now? Can you hear me now? Hold on.
What?
Wow.
Oh, like, how about? Can you hear me now? Any better? Nothing. Try. Oh crap. Oh, hold on. Tell me if you can hear me yet. Okay, hold on. I'm turning my Wi-Fi on to see if that helps.
If you just give me a second. Stop. These members are just.
How about now?
I know. I don't understand.
Do you see her
I
talking?
can't hear nothing you're saying. So I don't know.
How about now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, then
it come through.
Timer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's showing me you have one bar of signal, but no, I think I was gonna say shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I put your name. They're gonna send all your email. Yeah, they put your name on the email, and on the email you will get to be able to like click the link. Everybody's gonna like 5 people going to watch the video. And I'll just tell everybody what the video says. But I put your number on there.
Awesome.
So if I put that on there, it says.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, whatever is on there, it will stay between me and you. That is it.
Wow.
So is that the end?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the end. So is that pretty consistent? Is that pretty consistent, her demeanor in most of the calls you had with her? Oh, you muted yourself. You muted yourself.
I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. So is that pretty consistent? I'm going to shut, unless you had another one you wanted to share at some point, I'm going to shut that down.
Oh yeah, go ahead and shut that down.
Is that pretty consistent with her? Is that pretty, was her demeanor pretty consistent in each of those video calls?
Not in every video call. I'm telling you, we probably video called each other 200, 250, 300 times over the course of our relationship.
What?
Yeah. And sometimes it was just like, hey.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
About people in jail and like, commissary stuff and stuff like that. And I'm just at home today trying to get my schoolwork done and blah, blah, blah. And then there was one time that she called me and I forget like the dynamics behind it, if you will.
Oh, wait.
It didn't sound like.
I didn't see it. Psycho Cunt gifted 10 memberships. Congrats to Aaron Murphy, Amy, Mama Bear, Crystal Light Clarity, Much Endeavors, Jax, Sean Pellegrino, Marisa, Casefied, Mama Schmida. I think that's it. Thank you, Psycho Cunt. Appreciate it.
Her, but it was her. She was like, "This is Taylor." It was something really effective. But I'll have to go back and look because I have so many recorded on my Google Drive. So I'm gonna end up sending a bunch of those to you so you can.
If you can find, if you can find that one, I would be interested to see that one. So what I think you're saying is she was pretending to be Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
is she still there in that facility?
Yes, for now.
Okay, for now.
For now.
She wants to go somewhere else though, right? Where does she want to go?
She wants to go to like Los Carlos or something like that out in Pueblo because they offer really good treatment for people who are mentally ill.
And I bet you like the judge was like, yeah, I don't have any influence over that, but I'm hoping that the judge does have influence over that, and the fact that she just chose to use that as as what she was gonna say during her sentencing. I hope that the judge like has some pull and is like, whatever you do, don't send her there.
Which honestly, I
hope he's just like,
fuck you.
What do you think her chances are of going where she wants to go?
Slim as
That's
fuck.
where it gets tricky because the only people who get to make that determination call is the judicial assessment center. Once she gets taken out of El Paso County Jail, they take her to like a process.
Exactly. So you're gonna tell me the judge doesn't have influence over the judicial assessment center? Yeah, that judge is going like, nope, fuck all that. This bitch ain't crazy. She needs to fucking be amongst the other pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's at a facility where they're going to determine what level she needs to be put in, what she's going to need to be taken care of, like when she gets there. So we probably won't know where she ends up going for about a week or two.
You think that'll happen within the next week or two?
I would bet money on it.
Where do you think she's going to end up?
Did she just eat a pill like on camera? I mean,
would love for her to go to this.
It could have just been an ibuprofen. There's times where I'm streaming and like I need ibuprofen like real bad.
San Carlos or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's San Carlos. Yeah.
I would love for her to go there. I don't think that's where she's gonna end up. I know she's not going to the state mental health hospital. So isn't there a maximum security prison in Denver?
That would imagine, yeah.
I think more than likely where she'll end up going.
All right, let's back up into Travis Shelley. So explain to the audience who Travis is, who she explained to you, what the nature of her relationship with Travis.
I mean, she did say that she was diagnosed manic. So, I mean, she's got medication she's got to take if she's actually diagnosed manic. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get on her case for that. But Yo, turn the camera off for a second.
Now, Travis would have been after her first husband, Chance, died of a drug overdose, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then she meets this Travis. So tell my audience what she told you about Travis.
She told me that her relationship with Travis Shelley was really good at first, but as it turns out, he had a drug problem. I guess he was addicted to cocaine and some other stuff. She told me that he put his hands on her numerous times. It's been so long since I've heard the story, but I know for a fact, I believe that they were in an apartment. I believe he tried pushing her over the balcony at the apartment, or vice versa. She tried pushing him over the balcony. I don't really, remember the full things. They had a very tumultuous relationship. They always had.
Get out of town.
His family didn't like her, and like I said, every time that their relationship would start to fail, he'd want to break up with her. The first thing that she'd come back to and be like, "I'm pregnant," and she stole like sonogram pictures off of Google. And
did she admit this to you?
She didn't admit it to me, but he did, and his mom did.
She would take sonogram pictures off Google and try to pass them off as her own. And say, "Oh, I'm pregnant. You can't break up with me because I'm pregnant."
Yep. And like Travis told me that too. He's like, she pulled all these fake not polygraph, but sonogram photos telling me that she was pregnant to try to keep me around.
See, here's my thing is like, as far as Letitia, I mean, she fakes fucking everything. Why don't, I mean, am I the only one who doesn't believe that her degrees are real? Like, I just don't even see Letitia as being so driven as to sit down and study for a test. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see Letitia being the type that sees getting a doctorate through. I don't care what it's for. Like, getting a job is the easy part. Going to school and getting the doctorate, that's the hard part. Getting the job and then doing the job, that's the easy part. You know what I mean? I mean, the way a lot of teachers teach their classes, you know, like history teachers, they get a textbook and then they're like, okay, they got a teacher's edition textbook version for themselves, and then it tells them what to fucking give the students. And you plan, okay, we're gonna read the chapter, and then we're gonna review the chapter, and then I'm gonna give a pop quiz, and then I'm gonna give a test on 2 or 3 chapters. That's usually how it works. It's pretty fucking easy. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't, but actually going to school and getting a doctorate in teaching, I just don't see Letitia being the type to actually see that through. I could see her trying to download fake diplomas off the fucking internet. You know what I mean? FakeDiploma.com. FakeDoctorate.com. You know what I mean? I think it's absolute bullshit.
So does Travis know Albert?
Not that I know of. Now,
okay. Is Travis from Lumberton?
Yes.
Okay. So it's possible they know each other.
It's a possibility, but I should probably mention this too. So back in 2020, I was laying in bed. I get a private message on Facebook Messenger from Travis. He was like, "Hey, I know you talked to Tisha, but I need your input on something." I was like, "Sure, what's up?" Like, lay it on me. So he's like, "She wrote me a letter today, and it was really nice, but inside the letter was a religious pamphlet." When he opened that religious pamphlet, she stuck a note in there asking him to break her out of jail. And he looked he looked at me and said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And he was like, "I don't want to get Tisha any more trouble than she's in." I'm like, "Look here, guy. I saw nothing. I know nothing.
Look here, guy.
And, like, however you choose to handle this, that's not going to affect my friendship with you." And then not even 2 weeks later, she got busted trying to solicit that other inmate to get her out of jail.
She is something else. She's really... I mean, okay, so she breaks.
Ooh, you suck.
And then she gets into this relationship with Albert.
Mm-hmm.
What did she share with you regarding?
What kind of a fucking asshole doesn't report that? I mean, because I get it. The argument is going to be, well, she's already in enough trouble. What's that going to do? Well, it's going to help ensure that she doesn't escape, because she's obviously planning on escaping. She's already attacked a deputy. And if she still has plans to escape, then the authorities need to be made aware so that if measures need to be taken to avoid her escaping, then they can be made. So, in my eyes, the fact that you're like, yo, girl, I'm keeping that to myself, that makes you a piece of shit. Because this woman is willing to hurt police officers to escape. We already know this. She hit a deputy on the side of the head with a monster can. And you know all this. And then we know that she tried a second time in jail. We know all this. But one could look at it, I understand. One could look at it like, well, I mean, they're already aware that she's the type to try to escape. But see, the thing is that's all stuff that matters and should be documented. That's all stuff that helps prevent her from another escape. It could actually save lives because she is a dangerous, fucked up murderer. This is proven. It's proven. Think about that. And you're just your way of playing this is well, don't worry, girl, I'm not going to get you in any more trouble than you are. As if it was just a slip up, to stab an 11-year-old boy 18 times. Unreal, man, and then shoot him in the head and then bludgeon him, these people and the way they think.
The relationship with Albert and how that began.
He was a habitual cheater, that he had a drug addiction to opioid medication.
She told you this?
Yes, she told me this. She said that he cut the tip of his finger off and got pain meds for it, and that he was heavily addicted to opioids. She even told me one time that he got so messed up on pain pills that he went and wrecked a Jeep Wrangler. What else? She told me he was abusive.
And
she told me that at one point in time he threw.
Look at Cankles over here writing all this shit down, like, ooh, dirt.
A lampshade at her. These are the things that she told me, because I told her, I was like, what do you see in him if that's the case? Like, because I don't know anything about him. I'm just going based off what she's told me.
Right.
And, like,
exactly.
For one minute, I didn't believe what she was telling me. Because you can tell a lie from, like, an honesty. And there's been numerous times where Letitia has come out and been very honest with me. But, stuff like that.
But you don't believe the claims she made about Al?
No.
What did she tell you about the kids?
Yeah, at least she's got some sense. At least she's got
Never
some
really
sense.
said much about Lena.
I mean, she's still an asshole.
Harley was always a pride and joy. I actually kindled a friendship with Harley while her mom was in jail.
But
so
see, you saw what Karen was doing there, right? She was trying to elicit some sort of shit talking about Al. She was trying to induce some sort of verbal diarrhea about Al because Kay loves to do that. She loves to trash talk the victim's parents and family, and she's writing all this down because it's more content for her later that she thinks she could put behind a paywall. Wow.
Checked in on Harley to make sure she was doing okay. Let her know I was her mom's friend. If she needed anything, I didn't live too far away, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to Gannon, I have it in one of my letters. I have to go look for it. I have them all saved in my phone, so I'll probably email them to you.
Okay.
She had made a comment that Gannon had come after her with a knife and that she freaked out. And she's like, what would you do in the heat of a moment if somebody's coming after you with a knife? And I was like, I have terrible
I want you guys to pay close attention to one particular detail about this Amy person. Okay? This is the first time we're seeing her. Right? This is the first time we're seeing her. Now, I believe her in what she's saying mostly. I mean, she's showing the video conversations that she had with Letitia. She was obviously genuinely in correspondence with Letitia while Letitia has been incarcerated in the past 3 years. This is true. This is undeniable. We just saw the evidence of this. But the undeniable thing that we can't overlook here, people, because we are critical thinkers, aren't we, is we never saw her testify in the trial. She has all of this information. All of this information, and none of it was logged into evidence for this trial. Maybe to some degree it was. So either she sat on it the entire time, which is a shitty fucking thing to do. But I feel like all of those phone calls are recorded. So at any given time, law enforcement, forgive me because I'm thinking out loud here. All of these calls are recorded. So I'm sure that she couldn't have sat on it. Because like I said, the law enforcement had it. The prosecution had access to it. They could have accessed it at any time. So it's interesting. I think it would be fun to speculate why this person was not called onto the stand and none of this was admitted into evidence. Because prosecution didn't need it. Prosecution already had plenty of evidence. Prosecution had plenty of evidence, right? Or B, and A could be included in this too. It could be both A and B. I think it is. But B, they didn't call her on the stand because there's something about her that we don't know about that makes her a not credible witness. That if the prosecution were to put her on the stand, somehow she'd be torn apart. Her credibility would be fucked. And the fact that she just wanted to be buddies with Letitia while she was in jail is already a bad look. That's already a bad look right there. That's already a red flag. Already, the prosecution's like, let's see what we can do without that, because it doesn't even matter. It's just more of Letitia talking out of her ass. And we don't need it. We have plenty of evidence. Turns out they had plenty of evidence. None of this was necessary. None of it. Prosecution didn't need it to prove their case.
So I couldn't tell you like how I would react to that. And then she went into this whole big tangent about how law enforcement officials are taught to shoot for center mass, like go for center mass. And like I don't know a lot about law enforcement or like guns or anything like that, but I'm gonna tell you what, girl. I'm gonna tell you what. You watched that whole trial too, didn't you?
Yeah. Every stinking moment of that conversation.
Channel 9 where they showed all of the autopsy photos.
Yes, I saw. Oh my God. See, that's the thing. When they did that day, I was so stunned. I didn't even think to like take a picture of my TV screen, and I'm glad I didn't because I don't need that. But I was quite surprised at how
really you didn't think. I love how she's always slipping. This totally reminds me. This totally reminds me of when she had Truthy Magoo on her panel, and she slipped and said, "Why can't Michael Long get a job like decent white folk?" Those were her exact words, by the way, people. And and Truthy Magoo, who is a piece of shit, responded with decent white folk. And then she, tried to dance her way out of that. But she loves to have a slip of the tongue once in a while. And right there, she just did, where she's just like, "Oh, I didn't even think to get my phone and get a screenshot of the autopsy photos." And then she corrects herself and goes, "But I wouldn't want that anyway." Like, why did you even think about grabbing your phone? You know what my reaction was when they were showing the autopsy photos? As soon as I saw it, I took the visibility away from the court on my stream. As soon as I saw that's what they were doing, I was like, "Nope, not showing that." Like the second that I saw it. At no point did it cross my mind to get a screenshot of it. Like, at no point whatsoever.
He looked relatively well preserved. Like, I thought his torso, it looked intact. It was kind of quizzical to me because the medical examiner's testimony was that there was significant decomposition. You wouldn't be able to tell that from his torso. The torso is what they accidentally showed.
Yeah.
Now you realize how morbid this shit is? This shit is morbid as fuck because these fucking people have no experience with cadavers or dead bodies or anything of that nature. Neither one of them have any fucking experience with that shit. And here they are, and in a way are disrespecting the remains of Gannon by spreading misinformation, by talking about something they know absolutely fucking nothing about. Because if a medical expert tells me on the stand under oath in court that his body was decomposed, then I'm going to take their word for it. Period. I'm going to take their word for it. And I saw enough to make me turn my head and go, "Nope, we're not doing that." Because it was extremely morbid. That was not the photograph of a child who was alive. And you can tell that to a layman from, I would assume, from the body being decomposed. So for her to say this and say it wasn't decomposed by the looks of it means that you're just an asshole talking about something that you don't have any idea about, and in the most disrespectful manner you can, because you're talking about the remains of a young boy who was the son of two people that loved him very, very much, and the older brother of a sweet little girl who misses him very, very much. And you just don't care about this when you talk about something like this. And I'm not trying to be, you know, I understand we're in true crime, and then there's certain things that should be we should be mature enough to be able to discuss if it's evidence. You know, we give the trigger warnings and whatnot, but this isn't necessary. The trial is over. There's nothing to speculate on. She's been convicted. At this point, what she's doing is just plain disrespectful.
Oh, I have, as morbid as I am, I have every picture from his autopsy from that day.
How did you get that?
I can't give my secrets away.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
All right,
Wow.
but you have every autopsy picture?
do.
Why?
Are
Why
they
do you
really
have
bad?
that? Okay. Look at this fucking morbid fucking creep. And I'm not even talking about Kay at this moment. This morbid fucking creep that she's got up here. Like, she thinks that there's bragging rights to be had. This person sitting here that we know shit about, she's not seemingly doing anything productive whatsoever. And her appearance is not in the slightest bit reflecting her the credibility that she's trying to put out there. This unkept person through just indifference. She's indifferently unkept. And for some reason, she felt the need to have the autopsy photos of an 11-year-old boy who was murdered. And for some other reason, she feels the need to brag about it on arguably the worst channel that there is to argue to brag about these things on.
They're kind of blurry. But like if you know what you're looking at, like if you watch the trial, experts are pointing out this, that, and the third. If you look at the picture, you'll be able to tell exactly what it is.
What she was talking about, like the stab defects?
Yes.
What do you think she used? Do you think she used a box cutter?
I have been wondering.
Oh my God.
For years. I asked my husband, could you stab?
You need to shut the fuck up.
Box cutter? My husband's like, no, like the blades aren't sharp enough for that. So I was like, okay. Well, then I heard Letitia make a comment in one of her interviews that her husband has all of these woodworking.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe she used some kind of woodworking weapon from the garage to do it. Because I'm sorry, there ain't no way a box cutter would do that. I also have my theories because when she was telling about the center mass thing, well, you saw where Gannon's injuries were, right?
Mm-hmm.
All in areas, you heard the prosecution say, it wasn't like a frenzy attack where your feet get shot or stabbed, legs get stabbed, arms get stabbed, whatever.
This is fucking disgusting,
like
dude.
the sharp force injuries were in an area where the person who was delivering them was doing so with the intent to kill. And that shot back to my conversation of her when she was talking about going for the center mass.
Center mass.
That's the center mass right there.
Right. The injuries were to his upper, like his chest area and his shoulder, I think, right? Mm-hmm. Left shoulder. And so
what is the point of this?
All right. Everybody probably wants to know this.
Okay.
Has she ever told you in any detail?
She's so pleased with herself too. Like both of these assholes are. Look at this shit.
What happened? Does she know? Does she remember?
She's come up with various different stories. She's never outright come to me and been like, "Hey, I did it."
Mhm.
Like I said, there was a comment one time she made where Gannon came after me with a knife and it was in self-defense. That was one of them.
She said that day that she killed him, he came at her with a knife.
Now, see, that's the convenient part, is that she left out that the day that it happened. She just made the comment that Gannon came after me with a knife one time and it was self-defense. She's not stupid. She knows that, like, she can articulate and pick certain words, because I'll pick up what she's putting down without her having to out herself.
Because you're
So
so
what
fucking
are some
smart,
of the various versions she's given you?
Oh man, I've had a lot.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
There for a while. Never really heard much about Eduardo, but that Al was involved and owed people drug money, and this happened on their cruise, and he owed them so much drug money that they ended up kidnapping Gannon for recompense, I guess. I don't know. What year is it? 2022? Yeah. Early 2022 is when the whole disassociative identity sort of thing came in. Now, like, I'll tell you this. Me being her power of attorney, I have access to her Gmail account. I'm still logged into her Gmail account.
See, that's another thing.
I've read so much.
Okay. So why then, again, why? Because that right there establishes also, if there's all this correspondence, there's and she's saying that she's been talking to her since 2020, and then the DID thing didn't come into play until 2022. Then why didn't the prosecution use that as evidence that she was just using the DID thing as a defense last minute to try to get away with murder? Why didn't they use her as a witness?
She gave me permission. She's like, go back and read the emails from 2020, like January 2020, and you'll see the frustrations I.
Thank you, Patricia Sell, for gifting the membership. Congrats, Chris CF. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Dealt with Al, and like, her name on that account is Taylor T. So like, no, I don't believe that she's disassociative, but I'm friends with her family, and her family has told me she's never liked the name Letitia. So like, she always called herself Taylor. And I think of myself, Letitia's a cool name. Like, I'd rather be than Taylor.
Yeah, that's not a bad name. I don't understand why she doesn't like it. What's her reasoning?
I don't think that she really ever gave us a reasoning why. But
so let me back up into that. What were some of her frustrations with Al that are elucidated in that Gmail account from around the so this was from around the time she killed Gannon?
Yes.
Okay. What are some of her frustrations?
So this is about a 5-day thread of them going back and forth where she was, I guess, trying to start a new job or wanting to start a new job, but she felt like she couldn't because she always had to watch the kids because Al was too busy doing his work stuff, and when he wasn't working, all he wanted to do was play video games and ride bikes. And she was like, you never helped me, like, go get groceries. You never helped me do this.
Like, we already know all this shit.
And I can, if you like, I can send you the screenshots from the email.
We already
so you can
know all this shit.
I would love to read them firsthand and kind of gauge myself.
Yeah.
Because this is an eye-opening thing. Like,
no, it's not.
What was really, because we've heard about that she had these.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Any great detail. And this isn't to disparage Al. I mean, come on. I play video games. You play video games. I like my downtime. We all like our downtime.
Yeah.
But it sounds like some of these complaints are pretty stereotypical. Like, I mean, this is pretty typical, right? I mean, a lot of women have these complaints.
Let me ask you this. Would you? I know I have the most annoying voice, and you have to forgive me because my nose is freaking broken, so I sound stupid.
You do.
Would you like for me to read some of those emails?
I mean,
yeah.
That's not why you sound stupid.
Go ahead, break them out. Let's go through them. I mean, why not? This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Break it out. Let's hear. I want to hear specifically what her grievances were, if you will.
Yeah. I'm gonna disappear for a second because I have to pull up Gmail.
Yeah, go ahead.
You should still be able to hear me, okay?
I have tons of emails from a crazy person that are full of just untruths. You know what's really funny? Kay has those same emails. Because Kay's a doxing piece of shit.
Hear you, yeah.
Yay. Okay. I've had this iPhone for like a bazillion years and I still can't figure out how to figure it out.
I know. I still have I'm terrible with some of the techie.
Girl, you know how excited I was the other day when I texted you and saw you had iPhone 2? I was like, yes, team iPhone.
Right.
I literally have an album in my phone dedicated to Letitia. Like just like screenshots. I have a similar album for somebody else, and that's I'll tell you. I have screenshots from text messages that I got my hands on forever ago. The letters between me and her. Still shots from this. Okay, let me look and see for those emails. Okay. Make sure these are in the right order.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
I'm gonna read.
No, you go ahead. You read. I'm listening.
Okay, here we go. So I gotta start from the beginning.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Funny.
Okay, go ahead.
She said, what are you doing? She said, as always, I will quit doing something I like for benefits. I have to work this weekend and next, and Harley has drill. I left flight attendant school because Harley was by herself while you worked night shift and no one helped me find someone. No one. So I did what parents do and handled it. Couldn't go back to the next one because why?
Christ,
you have to be somewhere. I have found every person that has ever helped, and don't blame some access because people come from verified sites and not social media. It will be a never-ending thing with you if I work weekends because it doesn't fit your agenda.
Look at the concentration on Kay's face.
Is not acceptable. Hanging up on me is not acceptable. I'm sick of being made out to be someone who don't do something when I am the reason you get to work the job you do and have your kids in your home. So I should be respected and treated like I should be respected and treated like I am important. You knew last night was your last night in a while, and not once did you offer to spend quality time with your wife. But you expect me to you expected me to just handle everything, and you play Star Wars. And don't blame me saying that I knew about this for months. Who cares? You have been going on trainings, working your days off, working crazy shifts, and I done the major of it all. I deserve attention and love, not just put me last. I hate that it is an act of Congress to even ask you to set the dog out in the grass. You just assume you can pack your bag and leave a day before your flight, and I have to handle it because it's my responsibility, right? No, it's not just mine because I'm married to you. If that's the case, what's your excuse for your part in this marriage? Because those are your responsibilities. So get over treating me like crap and stop pretending that someone is fussing at you. It's facts. Give more to your marriage and family and less to your work, less to Star Wars, etc. It's old you telling people you have did it all and their mama hasn't. Wrong. Get the facts straight because you are blind. Without me helping you, you would have had to quit your career or pay out the ass. Because in reality, I do way more than you give me credit for and lie to people claiming that you do it all. This will be the last time I give up something to cover you. I'm not obligated to if you aren't obligated to pull your part equally. Al wrote back and said, Honestly, I thank you for being open and honest with your opinions, but the truth is we just do not view family and our family structure in the same way. I will not demean you for your opinions or your viewpoints, but there
Summer
are some
Butterfly,
elements of
welcome to
truth that
Logic
you
for
are
6
overlooking in
months.
this specific
Thank you.
situation. Like I said already, I am not going to argue with you about this or any other differences in opinion, but the most important factor here is that the children are absolutely taken care of. The only thing I will say in direct contradiction is that I do not treat you like crap. We do not see eye to eye on a lot of things, one being how you view your prioritization as it relates to everyone and everything else. We have discussed this before, and I'm sure we will again, not over email. I'm sorry you have to work tonight and chose to go into the room last night instead of spending time together with everyone, making me choose once again between you or the family. Hopefully we can resolve these differences and move forward. She said, oh, I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead. What else did she say?
She said, before my husband leaves, it is not spending time with everyone. That's not how the world visits it. You view it that way. Prior to our relationship, Prior to our relationship, I was involved in so many activities for me, including playing softball, happy hour, the beach, the pool. Now I'm attending soccer games, buying groceries, and helping the kids whom their mother and father should send me Mother's Day gifts because I raised their kids. I willingly chose this life, and I don't want you to feel guilty, but I am asking that you be aware of when I have given up and wait, hold on. Be aware of what I have given up and been supportive of those times when I chose to pursue my passion. And don't say you have, because you just talked about how our views are different. My view is for you to help around the house, and you don't. My view is for you to put me on a pedestal like I deserve to be, but you don't. Make time for us, especially when you leave, but you don't. Appreciate that Harley and I have done more and more than any member of your or her family has shown appreciation for. I don't see a member of neither of your family coming to ever help when you were away or even when I did it by myself. Not one person called to check to see if I needed anything or showed any sort of appreciation, not even you.
Congrats,
you say you do, but it's fake. It's a lie. Your idea of taking care of the family shouldn't be playing on the iPad. You ride your bike, you go to soccer on base, and always get trips away with no responsibilities to hang. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Oh, here we go. Let me leave for once, and you talk crap about how you are there being dad by yourself and treat me horrible. That's a fact. It's happened so many times.
Can you let us talk?
Hold on.
Because it's almost bedtime.
Okay, 1 second.
I need to cut this from my underwear.
So our ideas are different.
Shush the kid!
What a husband is supposed to do.
Shush him!
Or what a husband is supposed to do is different because
put your hand over their mouth and shush them.
You side. Your side should be out first, and when you show love down the ladder. Watching Gold Rush on the couch is not spending time with us. Not even an hour of your time, but you want me to give you 2 weeks of mine? You have it backwards. And no, girl, stop. And no, I can't go to work because it's not Harley's job. She stayed here while we were gone and had drill that weekend before, so it's not her responsibility as a 17-year-old to have another weekend of responsibility. So as always, I have to stop something that I like. You may not see it, but there's a double standard put on stepmoms. We are held to an extremely high standard, and when in the second we screw up, someone is in our cases. The world looks for flaws in us more than they do with biological parents. Let's see.
Wow.
Hold on. Fuck. There are many things I do around the house to keep our home running smoothly, and honestly, you probably don't even notice half of them. Understand that I may make it look easy, but I could always use your help. We both work really hard, and I understand when you're home, you want to relax, but I enjoy relaxation too. But if I could be in the same place as a husband that understands my perspective on the matter, my quality of life and peace of mind would be exponentially better.
Fucking shoot.
And then this is where Al wrote back. Honestly, I thank you for being open and honest about your opinions, but the truth is we just not view family the same way, and our family structure we do not I can't talk. I'm sorry. We do not view family, and our family structure is the same way. I will not demean you for your opinions or viewpoints, but there are some elements of truth that you are overlooking in this specific situation. Like I said already, I'm not going to argue with you about this or any other difference of opinion, but the most important factor here is that the children absolutely must be taken care of. And then Letitia said, please explain to me how you prioritize everyone else. Please do. You come in, you grab your iPad, you leave clothes on the floor, you wash only your clothes, you leave your same dirty clothes on the floor, you clean nothing, you never once make a bed or put anything of my needs first. Never do you plan a date with me, plan any events, go get groceries, surprise me with anything, show appreciation, take the dog for...
Ooh, you suck!
Hang up the kids' clothes, make sure that lunchboxes are ready, Christmas presents under the tree, and never consistent with any schedule. I am the consistent schedule. So where are your priorities again? You procrastinate your schoolwork and then do it when your kids are awake and then fall asleep. Then you work nights a lot. So your priorities are jacked up for the family, not mine.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Still.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Shush!
Give us a few more minutes, Ronan, please. Pretty,
Look at-
please.
Cancel Karen isn't like, hey, we can do this again another time. We got plenty. Fuck that kid. That's what she's basically saying. Instead of just being like, you know what, tend to your kid. I get that it's almost bedtime. We can pick this up. I'm recording this. I mean, that doesn't cross her mind not once. And mind you, this is directly after her last stream where she was talking about how you need to shush. You need to physically prompt your children and shush them in public. Children need to know when it's time to talk. She does not give a fuck about that child's needs.
I got 2 more things to read, and then I'll send you to bed, okay? And we'll let her say bye.
And then I'll send you to bed.
Letitia said, that's all I'm going to say.
By the way, there's another hour to this.
Is that you need to evaluate your priorities and not use it as a view family different, because family just isn't taking care of children. It's also taking care of each other and helping out with house duties and doing kind things for each other. Think about what you contribute to this family and marriage other than working, which I work too. My list is over 100 and ignored and discarded. And then the very last email, this is the most damning one. This was sent on January 25th.
Ooh, the most damning one.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Vowed to your spouse to leave your parents and become one. So it wasn't me making you choose. You already made that choice. So maybe you might think you have family down, but you clearly skipped the idea of marriage. But okay, I'm done with saying anything else further to you. The day will come soon when you will realize it.
Well, I mean, she could have just been meaning, I'm going to leave you. Her complaints are not unreasonable, but they're silly. I mean, this is what men do. Men, my husband doesn't make a bed ever. My husband cooks. That's what he does. My husband's a great provider, and he does a lot of the cooking. But my husband doesn't. He did clean our bathroom sink the other day. I was shocked.
That's impressive.
My husband works long hours. He works midnights and he works 12 hours and he does it 7 days in a row, sometimes 10. And then he's off 7 and then he does another 7 to 10 in a row. I don't see him very much. Like right now he's on a stretch, so I don't see him, Even though they're teenagers, They do their own laundry, they clean, they help me a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think every woman at some point has a grievance about, oh, my husband doesn't do much. So it sounds like a lot of her grievances are pretty typical, normal, and his response is very reasonable. And so how do we go from this, what I would consider to be a somewhat stereotypical marital, you're not doing enough, I'm doing too much, I've got too much going, and you don't show me enough appreciation, you never surprise me with anything, you don't take the dog out enough. How do we go from that to savagely murdering this child? How do we go from that to 2 days later?
I think that she genuinely,
thank you so much,
like any level of comprehension, I think she hated Gannon. Because
why do you say that?
Thank you. I don't know how to say your name, but thank you.
Aside from the fact she murdered him, but why do you think she was growing to hate him?
She complained about him a lot when her and I first started talking, that he was hyperactive, hard to control, blah, 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 that and the third. Now, like, when we kind of got on topic of, like, the murder, she hadn't come out and said that she did it. But one thing that she referenced to me, I might have it on one of my video recordings. I have, like, hundreds of hours of video recordings, so I'll have to get on my laptop and look tomorrow.
Crazy.
She made a comment about how on the night that the event took place, Gannon was sobbing.
Oh, you suck.
And I sat here and I told myself, I looked at my husband, I was like, she's been pretty honest in the upfront, but I don't think she's blown smoke up my ass with this one. And then the trial came out, and I'm sure what you heard,
the enema,
the regular enemas, like not just one or two here or there, but like enemas on a daily basis. Like, I've had a reason to believe for months now that she had been sexually assaulting him. And when she made the comment to me about sodomy, and then
you need to shut the fuck up.
These enemas?
To my understanding, no.
So it was just her and Gannon's little secret?
That's the only information that I have. I could be wrong. Because everything I am like a super sleuth.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
And like none of the information that I've been able to find has indicated that, like, they knew he had stomach issues and that he was supposed to be given Miralax, okay? If you're given Miralax, you don't need an enema.
Right.
So I think Owl was the one that was doing the Miralax, and Letitia was going behind his back and doing the enemas. And
but kids talk. But wouldn't you think that Gannon would have said something to his mom, like she's doing this procedure?
But you got to think of who Letitia is. Like, if I can set aside my indifferences towards her, she was terrified. Like, she could be terrifying. Like, there's a neighbor out there that did a interview with somebody. I guess Lena had to get pulled out of school one day because her face was injured. And what happened was, and I believe if I recall correctly, I'll have to go back and dig through some of my 18,000-year-old notes. But Letitia and Lena got into it because Lena didn't put her clothes in the right hamper. So she grabbed her by the back of her head and smashed her face into where your door, like your bathroom door hits the wall, and busted her face open. And then you heard
this from Lena?
Yes.
When was this?
I'd have to go back and look because I have so much stuff on my laptop. I think it happened in 2019. It was something like that. I'll find out and I'll get you the information. But
so she essentially was abusing Lena.
Yes, and it came out in trial that she was abusing Harley too.
Well, yeah, Harley said that she would backhand her, which is just atrocious. I mean, I think it's pretty fairly well established. Letitia has rage.
Yes.
She's filled with rage. She has rage issues. Where it's coming from, I can only guess her childhood, and hopefully you can shed some light on this too. So let's go back to the night.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
Hinted to you that she had sodomized him that night? Or that
in a very roundabout way, yes. I believe I have it in one of my letters, because she never outright came and said,
so why aren't you reading
this is
that
the night
letter?
he died. But it was something to the effect of the night that the event took place.
I mean,
you
like,
know, like context clues that the intruder came in and sodomized Gannon.
Okay, so let's back up. Did she ever tell you anything about the fire incident?
Yes.
What did she tell you about that?
She told me that Gannon knocked a candle over, it lit the carpet on fire.
She
and
told
I was pretty
everybody
much the
that.
extent of it that she had to cut the carpet up
Told
because
everybody
it was
that.
burned. But she told me that fires are a huge trigger for her because as a young adolescent, she almost died twice in a house fire. So she's like, the night I saw the house in the fire, or the fire in the house in the basement, like it triggered some PTSD in me, like. And I kind of wondered if like she was using that as like an excuse to justify what we would all learn later.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
During the candle incident, she fell and hit her head?
She said she fell and hit her head, but she didn't, like, all the detail that she went into about her hitting her head, like she gave like to the police people during the interview and stuff like that. She never touched base in that much depth with me. The most she ever tell you, no, I take that back. I'm sorry. I don't want to get my facts incorrect here. I want to say that she told me she hit her head that night. And I believe it was when the intruder broke in, when she was first trying to pull that line with me. But then it came out later that, oh no, I have a traumatic brain injury because when I was a teacher, a bookshelf fell over my head, and that's why I've had injuries.
Not 04R.
When she was a teacher, the Bushes, so she told you that book. So some of these stories are recurring, so there's probably some element of truth to them. So did she share with you what happened after the candle burn?
No, she pretty much just told me that Gannon felt really bad, and she put him to bed, got the candle mess cleaned up because they didn't want Al to get upset about it. And I was like, boys will be boys, and like I don't know Al, but I can't imagine that he'd be that upset about it. And she's like, yeah. Well, it was funny because I'd had that video on my phone that she secretly recorded where you could hear Gannon whimpering and crying.
This poor kid just trying to get tucked in.
She didn't know I had.
This poor kid's just trying to get tucked in.
Had that. Can we tell her good night? Yes, someone tell her good night.
Yes, good night,
Oh
Ronan.
my God.
You look very cute in your PJ.
Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck is wrong with you, lady? Now we're waiting on fucking what?
She also claimed for a really long time that she had a biological son named Ty.
Ty?
Ty, yes. I have lots of letters of her talking about her biological son, Ty. She even wrote a letter to Judge Warner talking about her biological son, Ty, which, by the way, never existed.
For sure. You know that for sure that she doesn't have any other...
Oh, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt because me offering my friendship to her opened up, like, an opportunity for me to become friends with her family. I am very close to Aunt Brenda, and I was pretty close with Harley for a really long time, too. And Dakota, Kenneth Harden, that's Letitia's dad. I've never spoken with Deborah, her mom, but they've all come back and said, yeah, no, she's never had another kid.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Convey to you any abuse she suffered as a child?
Honestly, when I talked to them, I tried to avoid bringing that up just because I didn't know what the things that she was telling me were actually true.
What did she tell you?
I mean, she told me that like her mom was abusive and her stepdad sexually assaulted her. What else? I know she went and lived with Aunt Brenda for a long time. Aunt Brenda's an amazing person, and the fact that she roped Aunt Brenda into this. Let's see. Edgar was Al's plug. He took pain pills all the time, so he was too high to figure it out. I've made a comment one time saying, "You never know, he could be my son." And went right over Al's head because he was so lit, lol. But he slept around so much, maybe he thought he was my Sancho, but he wasn't. I do struggle with how Ty found out, and Ty isn't real.
Boo! You suck! You fucking definitely suck, lady.
I'm looking for this really creepy letter. Sorry, I have like a million letters from her, and they're all saved on my phone. So what I'll do tomorrow is I will send them all to you on like a private message.
Yeah, send me what you feel comfortable sending me, and then I'm gonna go through, and I'll do a separate show. And if you want to join in, you can. If you don't have to. But I'm gonna kind of go through some of that.
Translation: hand over your shit to me, and I can cut you out of the loop. Make sure, because you're fucking weirding everybody the fuck out with your fucking weird fucking whatever the hell happened to your face thing, and just give me all the shit so that I can just call you a source and then take credit for all of your useless fucking digging and fangirling and use it for paywall content.
It's interesting to me. You've gotten to know her so well. So clearly she's got the do you agree with the borderline personality diagnosis?
Who cares if she fucking agrees?
Okay, so I was just recently diagnosed with there's like 2 different types of bipolar. I was just recently diagnosed with one of them. I don't remember what it's called.
And this is not to be a dick, but why am I not surprised? Because that is actually a borderline excuse as to what I wouldn't call it an excuse, but more of a reason as to why she's up here doing the shit that she's fucking doing. And why she would fucking dox her own kid on a fucking stream like that. And why Kay would fucking allow it and just say, hey, don't put your fucking kid on camera. What are you doing? I mean, that's the fact that she was diagnosed with any of these things is the only reason I'm feeling any empathy for her at all. But that's some serious stalker shit. That's somebody that's in prison and you're pretending to be her friend so that you can try to understand her better. And so that you could fucking sit up here and brag on canceled Karen's fucking canceled, not even she's making chump change with this because nobody gives a fuck about her anymore. Nobody followed her on YouTube with her second channel. I mean, she'd have maybe fucking 70 people watching tops when she used to run a steady what I'm running right now. And it's because she lost her channel, and then a lot of people were like, man, yeah, you know what? She fucking sucks. Turns out she sucks.
So for her to be bipolar, I could 100% see that.
Well, borderline, there's a difference. She was diagnosed with borderline.
Oh, was she?
Yes, borderline personality disorder. I know you're not alone in that. You're not alone in getting that confused. She was diagnosed with borderline, which is different from bipolar.
Yeah.
Bipolar is the because I've had many bipolar patients, but I worked as a certified occupational therapy assistant for 30 years. I worked in long-term care. So bipolar is marked.
Really?
She was diagnosed with borderline.
Oh, was she?
Yes, borderline personality disorder. I know you're not alone in that. You're not alone in getting that confused. She was diagnosed with borderline, which is different from bipolar.
Yeah.
Bipolar is the because I've had many bipolar patients, but I worked as a certified occupational therapy assistant for 30
Certified occupational therapy assistant. Like You are not qualified to talk about anybody with bipolar disorder or any mental health issue at all. You're not even remotely qualified to do that. That doesn't mean dick. Certified occupational therapy assistant. Like, this is your job was the receiving end of somebody who actually knows what they're doing, going, hey, go get me this. That was your job.
I worked in long-term care. So bipolar is marked by extreme bouts of depression where literally they are, so glum, depressed, don't want to talk, don't want to do anything. And then the pendulum swings the other way, and they have these extreme bouts of mania where they will do things like excessive shopping. They talk real fast. They do a lot of talking. They're real outgoing. They're real extroverted. They might do.
This lady looks like she's this Amy person, bro. Like, her mouth is going crazy. She looks like she's got some serious meth mouth going. Like, take a look.
Recently diagnosed with one of them. I don't remember.
So
look at that. Look at that shit.
Depressed.
Look at that shit go.
And then
look at that shit
the pendulum swings the other way, and they have these extreme bouts of mania where they will do things like excessive shopping. They talk real fast. They do a lot of talking. They're real outgoing. They're real extroverted. They might do crazy sexual things.
Yeah.
Gamble and do so. It's that pendulum. It's that wild swinging pendulum. Whereas borderline has there's some different symptoms to borderline, more associated with dissociation, which is, I tend to agree with you, and I'm not even really sure. I think there was I can understand now how it happened, but I think there was some communication breakdown between Dr. Dorothy Lewis and Letitia's legal team.
Yeah.
I don't think Dr. Dorothy necessarily believes that Letitia has altered personalities. I think she was more trying to convey to the jury that Letitia dissociated or split. And it's interesting because
okay. Understatement of the year. Letitia's defense was that she suffered from dissociative identity disorder. And the only reason that defense would work is if you convinced the jury that she was diagnosed with this, okay? And because that particular mental illness means that she would switch off to another personality where she had no memory and she was not responsible for the actions of that person. I've had somebody who claimed to be someone with dissociative identity disorder who was diagnosed with it. She called in and she actually said that she has memories of the other personality, but she's in the back seat, has no control. Okay. I'm not going to call her a liar, but what I'm saying is they chose that defense because it implies that she had no control, that the loving, nurturing stepmom that Letitia claimed to be was in the back seat with no control over what Maria Sanchez was doing, right? So that was her entire defense. So to listen to Kay, who was talking about this dissociative identity disorder like crazy and swearing up and down that she can't wait for Dr. Dorothy Lewis, the person who she feels she relates to so much, she gets up there and she fails to prove her diagnosis. Not because she had a bad time explaining it. And it had nothing to do with the communication breakdown between her attorneys and her. What happened is that she did not do any research on the case. She absolutely failed to present how she came to the diagnosis that she was there to testify that she came to on Letitia Stalk. She failed to break down how she got that diagnosis. She failed to explain its credibility. Because she said herself that in order to get a proper dissociative identity disorder diagnosis, she needed an EEG and an MRI, and at least the EEG. And Dr. Lewis not only failed to do almost any research at all on the case and on any of the evidence that was made available to her. She failed to even review that properly. She failed to log her notes into discovery. She failed to show up to court on fucking time, like any entry-level professional in any profession would do if they had to testify in court. She failed to do all of these things. Yet she tried to say that she successfully diagnosed Letitia with dissociative identity disorder. And here is Kay trying to backpedal from all of the time that she was sitting there talking this woman up and trying to come off like, oh, there must have been a miscommunication between the defense and Dr. Dorothy Lewis. Yeah, first of all, no fucking shit there was a miscommunication. But at the same time, there was complete and total lack of professionalism coming from both Dr. Lewis and Letitia's defense team. We watched it through the whole trial. I mean, and that was it. So to sit here and say, well, that's the reason is, she was unable to explain the dissociative identity disorder properly. No, she was unable to explain it because she was unable to reach a credible diagnosis based on her lack of research and her lack of actually going through the interviewing process properly. I mean, she had her son in the room as well as Letitia's attorneys. That's a bad look. Any professional is going to say, you know what? I just need a guard in here because I'm worried about my safety. And I need the less people here as possible so that I can get the most honest possible interview out of this person so that I can help them. See, that's unethical to make a sideshow where people who benefit from Letitia being found not guilty are there coaching and interfering in the evaluation. This is totally unethical on everybody's part. So there's no to say that the miscommunication is what did it. No, it was the lack of professionalism from every professional involved that Letitia could benefit from. Or at least her case could.
I have a couple of borderline people in my group. See, I try to tailor my groups to where people will ultimately feel comfortable coming out and saying, I'm borderline and here's what I can tell you, because this is really what I want. If I let everybody in my group sit there and hate this woman and screech and scream all day how evil and disgusting and fry her and throw her under the bed, I'm not going to allow that, because I know that there are eyeballs that are reading this that might see themselves in Letitia. And I want those people to feel comfortable talking to me because I want to understand. I don't know a lot about borderline. I really don't. It's not something that I'm terribly familiar with. It's quite rare.
Yeah.
So, and it can come about as a child abuse. So I think the miscommunication, and because what I get from Dr. Dorothy's testimony is she believes that Letitia split or altered, went into a dissociative state. And it's almost in line with what I've always said. She succumbed to or surrendered herself to that rape.
Let me explain something real quick. the type of person that would see themselves in Letitia, as she just stated. See, I'm not interested in knowing people like that. Those are the kind of people, because every single, like, Letitia doesn't have one redeeming quality about her. She's shown all of us no redeeming qualities about her. Nothing for us to feel empathy for her. Nothing to inspire a feeling of empathy for Letitia. She has no redeeming qualities at all. At all. So I don't want to know people. The type of people who see themselves in Letitia, those are the kind of people that I eject the fuck out of my life. Pure toxicity. That's the kind of shit that I'm like, fucking, stay the fuck back. And I learned this a while back, that these are the kind of people that I want nothing to do with. And the fact that she's saying, well, this is for the people who see a little bit of themselves in Letitia. I don't want to even fucking know those people, much less fucking provide them with some sort of, shining light they can relate to. Fuck all that. Fuck those people. If you see yourself in Letitia, you fuck off. Fuck off. Seriously. That woman has not one redeeming quality. It's incredible to me that this woman, like...
Yeah.
When you think about it, I mean, when you look in terms of his injuries are indicative of someone with extreme rage. To take a knife or an instrument and that is a workout, because you're stabbing at a human tissue, flesh, bone. You're hitting bone. I mean,
and they also consider that a crime of passion too.
Yeah.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
To explain, it's not necessarily the Sybil type dissociation. She was trying to explain, because borderline can be.
Okay, but she was. Why are you trying to act like Dr. Lewis diagnosed her with the borderline? It was Dr. Torres and Dr. Gray that diagnosed her with the borderline. Dr. Lewis was there to counter their findings. Dr. Lewis was there to prove their findings wrong for the defense. Dr. Lewis was there as the one glimmer of hope that Letitia had, that the defense had for Letitia, and she failed. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking like Dr. Lewis was the one that diagnosed her with the borderline? That's not what happened.
This can occur with borderline people where they dissociate, meaning another part of the brain takes over. They have this other side of their brain, not necessarily, they're learning more and more about this, okay?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily another personality. It's another side of that person's brain. And so what I would ask you is did you ever see her? You did say that there was a video call where she didn't seem like herself. Did you say that?
Yeah, there's been a few where she's not seemed like herself.
Okay, so I think what Dr. Dorothy was trying to impart with that is that it's like this other state of consciousness. Have you ever heard of astral projection?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever experienced out of body?
Me personally, no, but I know people who have.
I have once. Now
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Same as astral projection or going out of body.
Right.
So I had at a very stressful time in my life, and I want to say it was about 10, 12 years ago.
Fuck you.
good close girlfriend at the time. And her husband, she just caught her husband cheating. And I'm very empathic. So when I have a friend and they're going,
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Take it all on.
I do that too. Yep, I do it too.
I am the same way. I take it all. I feel it all. I feel every shock to my core. I feel every hurt, pain that they're feeling. I've always been this way. And my friend at that time was beside herself. She was losing her mind because she had caught her husband cheating. He had been going through nursing school. So she had been paying for that and taking care of him. And all of a sudden she finds out he's cheating and she was losing her mind. And I was taking this all on, and I had this extreme level of stress and shock over what was going on in her marriage.
Stop it.
And I had
Get
this
some help.
experience where I laid down to take a nap and I astral projected. I went out of body and I was above myself looking.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I've never encountered that.
And I could see myself. Oh, your house is pretty.
Thank you so much.
I love your cupboard. I could see myself sleeping. I could see myself breathing and, you know, what we do when we sleep.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Came back and I literally felt myself come back. And I was able to wake myself up. There's a little bit. My understanding that that's kind of a form of dissociation. And it's another way of potentially looking at,
what are you?
An idiot sandwich.
These people are out of body or something. Like they go out and they're seeing themselves do it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't absolve them. Of course not. I've said, Letitia's dangerous. Would you agree with me? She's a dangerous.
Yes. Okay, let me tell you this. There was a point in time because like I said,
she's dangerous.
I wish I could.
And since she's so fucking dangerous, why didn't you fucking report the fact that she was planning another escape?
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
Unreal.
Call records I print at El Paso County Jail. I'm sure I could if I asked him. Well, she used to call me all day, every day when it was her time out of her cell, right? And by the way, I apologize. I smoked my vape pen pretty heavily.
You're okay. You had to go get another one?
I had to get another one because the other one died. But, oh, sorry. What was your question? I'm sorry.
Ooh, you suck.
Had you ever seen her, you said yes, where she wasn't necessarily quite acting like herself. Did she ever describe that to you? Did she ever say that she's ever had times where she was outside of her body or she was watching herself do something and couldn't control herself? And also, do you think she's dangerous?
She's never come to me and like said,
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Okay, one thing that I do like about Letitia, well, I hate to admit it. I hope this doesn't offend you. She's very arrogant. She's very vain. She thinks that she is the most intelligent person on the face of the planet.
Right.
And that nobody's level of comprehension can compare to hers. So when her and I got to talking, she's like, this is the reason why I like talking to you, because like I can say things in a certain way and you know what you're picking up what I'm putting down. I'm like, okay, and I got what you're going with there. Man, I'm tired. What was that last question you asked?
I know, I can tell you're getting tired, and I'm so grateful.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Because I know this is a lot.
Fuck out of here. Fuck. God damn. Yo. What a fluff job. You believe Cancel Karen charges people money for that shit? It's like People that listen to her fucking paid money for that shit. It's unbelievable. Like, yeah, like we get it. We know that she's a dangerous, shitty fucking person, dude. Like, I don't understand what you're like. These people fucking suck, dude. Terrible. Fucking terrible. All right, people. I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It is getting late. Yeah, man. I don't know if that's gonna be it for canceled Karen, because this is the second time she's been canceled. But that's what she's doing now. She's just she's given platforms to fucking insane people who ignore their kids and dox them on camera. That's fucking great. Anyways, guys, I love you very much. You guys are fantastic, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.